All right, we're live, and we need to think of something funny to do.
I don't have
All right.
anything funny.
All right, we'll just do this. I'll talk. All right, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Max,
What's up?
it's good to have you back.
Yeah, you finally figured out how to count down from 3 to 1 with your fingers.
I know I messed it up the last time you was on her, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe that there's Toe of Satan lollipops knocked some sense into me last week Thursday.
Yeah. You know,
Oh,
they
man.
clear people's like sinuses. They just cleared your brain.
Yeah, they cleared everything. So it was bad, but it was all for good cause, and we're gonna talk about that more in this podcast. But we have to drop a intro.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes, indeed, Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 120 of the No Name RC podcast. We took a week off last week. Actually, I kind of had to recover from that lollipop stuff. So I knew I wasn't going to be sick on Friday or not feeling good. So I just decided not to have a podcast last week. But we did do a live, and we did a good thing. We'll talk more about that in a minute. My good buddy Max is here with us this weekend. I mean, this weekend. It is almost the weekend. So, hey, it's Thursday. What's up, Max? How are you?
I'm doing good. I just finished my shift. Almost the weekend, as you said. So I'm feeling good.
Yeah. I'm feeling good too. I'm looking forward to this weekend. My weekend is going to be watching PNB. So that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. They have lives too, so it's like actually watching something.
Yes, Live RC will be there, and we will talk about that a little later. But before we get deep into conversation, which we have a lot to talk about this week. We have a lot to talk about. We have revealing some new things. You and I actually have an argument, a debate. So we're going to talk about that. But before we go any further, I would like to shout out to all the people, all the NNRC squad around the world. You guys make this happen. It's awesome. The love that you show the podcast. Our socials are growing daily. We want to get our Instagram count up. If you ain't following us on Instagram, please go follow us on Instagram. If you like this podcast, you're gonna hit that like button on Facebook. Do that. And also, please, we have 1,079 subscriptions on YouTube. And we have 3,600 people on our Facebook groups. I think we should have 3,600 people on the YouTube thing. So if you can, please go to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, that like button or dislike button, and leave a comment for us and let us know how you feel, because we're still learning this video thing, but it's getting there. So thank you to all the NNRC squad. Big shout out to the patrons of the podcast. None of this is possible without you guys. I'm traveling here in May. I can't wait. And a lot of that is because of the Patreons, stashing off a little bit of money here and there, saving up. We're going to Silver State. We're going to National. 6 weeks of just RC. It's going to be madness. It's going to be fun driving across America. I can't wait. And you guys will come right along with us, because I'll be posting daily and videos and all that stuff. It's going to be an awesome hurrah around America. And I can't wait. Shout out to all of our awesome sponsors. We actually have 2 new sponsors. We just announced them this week. But before I go, I would like to talk about Mayako. They released like a etching picture type of thing of their car today, and another body shot of the car. The body really looks badass, like some yellow camouflagey type of look. Did you see that on Instagram, Max?
Yeah, finally someone gets how to make a prototype body, not just white. Make it look cool.
Yeah, it did look cool. I have seen the car. I've been sworn to secrecy, like threatened by death if I reveal any of the secrets. So we shall see some more pictures of it here shortly. But it looks good, and it looks good in that video, and I'm getting excited. I think I'll have a prototype here soon. So I don't know why I'm not gonna race.
You'll
But
have a prototype?
huh?
You'll have a prototype?
Of course I should have a prototype. If I can put it
What you gonna
together,
do with it?
put it together and put it on my shelf.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, one day I'll get back to racing, hopefully here. But
Yeah.
thank you to Mayako for sponsoring the podcast. Shout out to TNR Fuels. They are at PNB, Chris Nelson and those guys. Check them out. He's doing a whole tour of America, man. He's everywhere. Really good people. A fuel made by racers, for racers, a family-owned business. So go check them out. Shout out to Sun City RC Raceway. You know, they had the TNR race a few weeks ago. They're doing good. Awesome facility. I hope I can stop there on the way and somehow, some way on the tour of America. Tekno RC heading into PNB with their full squad. That's going to be interesting. Can't wait to see what they do. Jared Tebow won last year, so let's see what he does this year. Beach RC is up there. Lucas is up there with the White Whale. So if you need any parts, go check him out. If you want to order online, use our affiliate code. It helps us out. RCGP, JQ Racing. Shout out to all my JQ Racing family attending PNB. Cody Watson and a couple other guys. They're all headed up there. Not a big team like we used to, but they're going. And Racecraft USA, we got some Racecraft USA guys going to PNB. And I see people's getting their JQ Threads hats that they won from the Christmas show. I know Christmas was like 4 months ago, but you know, Joseph takes a long time to ship things. And yeah, man, House of RC. House of RC is going to play a lot in what we got to talk about today. And of course, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, longtime supporter of the podcast. There are links in the written description of this podcast, and we have some discount codes. Papa Willie's is one, as well as manscaped.com. You can save 20% on them. So we have two new sponsors, Max. And one is, actually, let me go first. High-Tech RCD, or High-Tech Multiplex, they call themselves in America. But I'm really excited about this because I used to run these servers exclusively back in the day. You know, back when I was really like into racing and stuff like that. These were the servers that you ran, you know, and they kind of disappeared for a little while on the racing scene. But they're back, and they're sponsors of PNB. They're sponsoring the Florida RC Championships and whatnot. So here's what High-Tech had to say. And I'm super happy that they're on the podcast. I really am. Since 1983, High-Tech RCD has been an industry leader in engineering and manufacturing radio control systems, servos, and telemetry components. Our team of top engineers have researched and developed the most superior servo technologies in order to bring the highest level performance and reliability to your hobby. Along with High-Tech's rock-solid reputation for quality products, including an extensive charger line, we have a dedicated customer service team available to offer constant support. Trust in High-Tech, your servo and charger headquarters. I'm super pumped. They are an associate sponsor, so happy for them. They're going to be on for 2021. Big shout out to the USA Surface team manager, Mike Walker. He's the one who kind of helped me to help High-Tech to come on board. He's been running their servers for a long time. Going to get him on here to talk about their products here. And yeah, I just want to
have a radio too.
Yeah, they do have a radio. I don't know if they're making it anymore, but they have come out. Yeah, they're appealing to e-buggies. See, now everybody says we don't show no e-buggies love her, but they have their RDX2 Pro charger, and they say this: they're calling out to all e-buggy fanatics. You want to race, not wait, right? Then you better add High-Tech's new RDX2 Pro charger to your pit arsenal, capable of charging 2 4-cell packs in just 45 minutes. This battery charger will get you back into action in no time, while also offering the power supply feature for your engine heating and tire warming needs. Get charged with High-Tech. This also has a Bluetooth dongle, so I think you could connect it to your phone and everything else. So yeah, they're coming out swinging with this charger and their new HSB-9381TH servos. All good. These are got like regenerative braking characteristics. So when you brake, it puts power back into your battery. Like a hybrid car.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. That's awesome, isn't it?
Actually, I think my first radio, when I got my AEB3, we bought it from like a racer. So I think the first radio I got was a High-Tech. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember at some point I had a high-tech radio.
Okay. Yeah, but this
So,
is the
yeah,
servos, not the radio, the servos. I used to run the
yeah.
servos. I mean, that was the only thing you could run. But I'm super pumped to have them on board. I don't have a discount code or nothing for them. We have to, if you want to like any more information about High Tech, go check them out, their website, follow them on Instagram and Facebook, and hit up Mike Walker. He'll be happy to tell you about their products. And thank you, High Tech, for supporting the podcast. So a few months ago, I think last year, I started talking about a tire company that was coming out of SoCal. Well, it's not out of SoCal, but it's out of California. And I actually know the two owners pretty well, Bryce Beaver and Brad Nibblings. I'm sorry I messed up your name, Nibs. I can't say it. But they've created Lugs Racing, and they are a new tire company in the mix, which I'm all for because we need cheaper tires and we need quality tires for better prices for racers, because that's the one thing we use a lot of is tires. So I would like to welcome Lugs Tires on for 2021. They're busy. They're at PNB. They're like TNR. They're everywhere. They're going to every race you can imagine. They're pushing hard, and I'm really excited to have Lugs on. Before I just want to introduce them real quick and let you guys know what they said. So Lugs Racing has over 55 combined years of experience in the RC industry. We are a small company making big moves in the RC world. As we know in racing, it's all about tires. Lugs Racing has been testing different tread patterns, wheel modes, and our proprietary, my words, rubber tire blend to bring racers the best product we can. Our tires are available in medium, soft, super soft, and mega soft. They have like a basher line called the Econ tire line. Basher, I wouldn't say basher. Yes, basher-ish. And this line has been developed with budget racers and bashers in mind. For this line, we have improved existing molds from previous projects, but we are using the same rubber compounds as our premier tires. This allows them to keep cost down and pass those savings on to the customer. For the all-out racer, we have the Protos and TQs. These are our premier tires that are made with our custom design molds using our proprietary rubber compound to provide you, the racer, with the performance you require. Please visit www.lugsracing.com, and you can save 30% off your order if you use promo code in all caps NNRC Lugs with a Z. Thank you, Lugs. I'm excited for this. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Bryce. Really, really excited to work with these guys. And follow them on Instagram and Facebook. You know how I always heard about Bryce is Greg would always talk about him. I used to race with a guy named Bryce Beaver way back in the day, and he's racing again. And I said, yeah, it was probably the same guy, Greg. You know what I mean? It's got to be the same. You know how Greg is. It's got to be the same guy.
Wait a second. 30% off. Isn't that like a team driver deal?
Hey, man, they're pushing hard. They're pushing hard, and they want to get out there.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, go check them out.
Like,
show the podcast some love. Show the sponsors. You show the podcast love by showing the sponsors love. So I'm super excited, man, to have those guys on board. And High Tech, man, I'm super excited. So thank you, and thank you to all the other sponsors as well. All right, Max. All right. So a couple little things I discovered. This Toe of Satan is really hot, but congratulations to Wally, Kevin, Beggar Racing, and the whole community in Quebec, Canada, and the whole RC community and period that came together last Thursday. We really did a good thing. We raised between the GoFund and super chats and super stickers, because the first time we was testing that, we raised almost, or maybe just over $2,000 to add to their total, which takes them up to almost $19,000 or like $18,500 total raised for Yannick, a young, very 7-year-old. His father races and he loves racing and all that stuff, but he's sick. He's got cancer. And, you know, I love that the RC community rallied around that, and people were just throwing money. And then it was crazy. Like, I was suffering so bad with that stuff. And like they said, well, if we get another $500, you got to do the other one. And then like Drew Singer threw in like 500. No, I think it was another, man, I don't know how much we made, but Drew Singer pledged like $500, RCGP 100, Jake Lasco like 200. Man, I had to put another one in my mouth. Man, it was bad, man. It was bad, but it was all worth it. Yannick Strong, we raised money for this young kid. It's great to see the RC community come together like that. I wish we can come together like that more often to do more positive things. And thank you to all the drivers that sent that did the video for me. It was a nice little video that we had for him. His parents really enjoyed it. And our thoughts go out to you, his family, and young Yannick. And stay strong, man. And yeah, stay positive. So it was a good thing, man. That made me feel really good about doing it. But man, that stuff was hot, Max. Man, it got on my shirt because I was drooling, right? Because you don't have to eat it. You just have to.
Yeah, I know.
You just have to put it in your mouth. But I was drooling. It's that sticky candy drool. And it got on my shirt and it was right on my belly, dude. Oh, that's it got everywhere. It got on my feet. It got on my arms and everywhere it got. It was just burning the entire night. And
yeah. And the funniest thing is it's not actually burning. Your body is just tricking you. Like it's not physically burning you. It's
right.
Your body just thinks it, you know.
Well, there are such things as chemical burns, Max, and I would think I was.
Yeah, but I don't think those have that. If it was like some of those have it, but it's mostly just like acidic stuff. The hot stuff doesn't really have any chemical things.
Right,
just,
but it
just tricks your receptors. So
at
you're
9
pretty much
million Scovilles.
bamboozled.
9
Yeah,
million
but it doesn't
Scoville
matter.
units.
Doesn't matter how many Scovilles it is. It's still nothing to do with like actual chemicals, unless there are chemicals. I don't really know about that.
Oh, this is a cinnamon-based one. It tastes like cinnamon and sugar.
Okay. But like
So
chili is not actually even like if you don't have the, the reflex, it doesn't feel hot.
Okay. Well, I dare you to go do a toe of Satan then.
Well, yeah, but I have the reflex, so it feels hot.
Hey, dude, my mouth was on fire. My eyes, like everything. So I was red, dude. I was so red. I was like, oh, this sucks. Then of course, dummy here put another one in his mouth, but it was well worth it. But the only thing, it just messed me up for a few days. It felt like I was drinking the whole entire night. All the sugar and the heat and all that stuff just messed my system up. My pressure was up, but it was all good. It was all good. Dude, do you know who our guest is this week? It's Kyle McBride. I got him on the podcast.
I read on the notes.
Yeah, I got him on
That's exciting.
Yeah. He hit me up and said, hey, man, can I come on the podcast? And I said, yeah, sure. I've done a few things with Kyle. And we talked about his move to Tekno and what we expect for him. So thank you to Kyle McBride. I listen to it. It's a short podcast this week. I mean, we did 5 hours a couple of weeks ago. So, we kind of, but once me and Max get talking, I'm sure it's going to be long.
Yeah. But like, I think McBride is making moves left and right, like the seismic stuff and the Tekno stuff. It's clear like he's looking beyond just the racer career. Like I think he's selling the seismic stuff with someone, or he's like working beyond like just being a racer.
Well, he talks about that. He talks about the Tekno move and all that stuff. He's still only 25. He's still young.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like,
So,
if he like doesn't win worlds or whatever, he has like a whole like platform around him that he can just like start going. Like he has a plan B.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's when things open up, we're gonna see him more in America. So that's good to know.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
That's like the best thing about him going to like an active company. Like especially now that RCGP is like canceled due to COVID. Like we were not gonna see him run anywhere with Infinity.
So yeah, thank you, Kyle, for coming on. You guys enjoy that. And hey, you know what, Max? What I discovered last night, in fact, speed cubing.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I did not know this existed. It was on Netflix.
I can solve a Rubik's cube, just not in 5 seconds. It takes like 1 or 2 minutes.
This stuff is bigger than RC. I don't think they get paid a lot of money to do it per se.
They do, but they don't. They don't get paid from like competing. They get paid from like the publicity.
Yeah, I would think so. It was
they
really
have like
interesting.
sponsors, and they do like live streams, and they get paid by that.
Yeah, I just saw this, and when I see things like this, it just frustrates me because I just think that Driven should be on there. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah, I don't know if they tried to put it on.
I thought it was cool. I liked the storyline. They had an autistic kid, the Chad Parks. Like they told his story, And then how they get the guy Felix, he's from Australia, and like the kid Chad was beating all his records, but they were still friends. And you know what I found out? Because I posted this on Facebook. A fellow racer, Rex Welch, he's an engine guy. I think he's from Minnesota. His son is actually does RC and does this.
Yeah, I think this is like really common in American high schools. I think they have like state championships, cubing championships.
Well, his son's a little older, I believe, but he said, yeah, check out this video. Check out this video. And
whatever, man, they have like high school championships, I think. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen some stuff like high school kids do this a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I can do it just in like 1 or 2 minutes.
Well, so as fast as those guys are doing it, I just know, and they're using their two hands. I just know that this is not the sport for me because.
Have you seen these guys that do like 3 cubes in a row blindfolded?
No, I saw some guys doing them with their feet.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is they have 3 cubes and they're blindfolded and they solve all of them without taking the blindfold off.
That's amazing. How do you do that?
Yeah.
It must be feel.
I mean, no. They look at the cube. Yeah, like the moves, because there's only like 20 moves. No matter what position the cube is, there's only like 20 moves to solve it. So you only got to remember like 50 moves tops. So it's not that.
But it just comes to the point, like, honestly, and people are like, oh, you're always tooting the RCGP horn. Because, well, I haven't seen, okay, 5150 was good too. I'm not going to take away from his video production and all that stuff, but it just focused on like Ty and that's guys. But I enjoy his stuff. His video editing is really great.
The earlier stuff is better because they don't have that pro line sponsorship so in your face,
Right.
It's sort of like in the background. Like in the newer ones, it was like, hey, these are the pro line guys. Here we're following the pro line guys. So I mean, yeah, obviously he's got to make money to make those, but like as looking at from inside the hobby, it was like kind of annoying. But
yes, yeah. And then I look at and I just saw how they made drama, like not drama, but made a storyline behind this speed cubing, and I'm like, why can't we get driven on this Netflix? Like, I just don't understand it. And
yeah, well, why can't we get more than just driven? Like, why hasn't there like 5051, whatever it is, and driven? Those are like the only thing ever created, like in RC. And dude, like those are like online series, like those are the only 2. Like, really?
Yes. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but man, we can change that.
I know we can. And we're going to talk about that today too. We're going to talk about that. And you know what? I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that donated to young Yannick as well. I got to say that again, man. That really warmed my heart to see the RC community come together like that. So
yeah,
really good stuff. All right, Max, you know what? I think it's time to go into some RC news. And this week's RC news is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Now, we're going to talk about something a little different this week on Manscaped.com. So, the RC news is sponsored by Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels and is now available in the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and the EU. We have an exclusive offer for our audience. Use the code NONAME in all caps and get 20% off your order with free shipping at manscaped.com. Join the movement and the other 2 million men who trust Manscaped. And guess what? Cut through the jungle to find your manhood. But I have a few other points here that I want to talk about because, RC is a predominantly male-dominated sport. So we have some talking points that we should pay attention to. Did you know that one guy every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? So this is a reminder to all the men listening to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Manscaped, in addition to providing the right tools and solutions for a safe and easy manscaping, has partnered up with the Testicular Cancer Society to spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Together, TCS and Manscaped are committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as a part of their We Save Balls initiative. While you're down there cleaning up your sack, why not go ahead and give them a little investigation for lumps, changes in size, or any pain? I think we can all agree it's pretty fun playing with your balls anyway. Manscaped recommends checking yourself once a month. And if you feel any lumps or swelling, give your doctor a call. In addition to checking yourself, you want to make sure your sack is looking fresh and clean with the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. And inside the Perfect Package, you will find products and liquid formulations that we have developed to turn your bathroom into a salon for your balls. So we have the Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing deodorant for your balls, Crop Reviver, which is a spray-on ball toner and refresher, and the Perfect Package 3.0 also includes an anti-chafing boxers that keeps your package cool and feeling fresh. So remember, go to manscaped.com, use the promo code no name in all caps, and you will save 20% off your order, and you can get this pretty much all around the world. Thank you, Manscaped, for bringing us the RC news of the week. All right, Max, I think one of my big things is the UK has opened back up for racing. I'm so happy for our friends over there in the UK. They have been on serious lockdown, and they took advantage of being open this weekend. There was races this Easter weekend. There was races everywhere.
Yeah, they had like they had their lockdowns were like actual lockdowns.
Yes.
They had like you can't leave your house for over 30 minutes, even for a run. Like holy shit.
I know.
It was nuts.
I was talking to Rowan today, and now I can't even get him to do any work because all he wants to do is be outside.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm paddleboarding in the middle of a lake. It's 3 degrees. I was like, well, you're the guy who wants to be on a lake in April in England. But it's good to see. We saw that NEMA Raceway had like all weekend. They had multiple races, I think, all weekend.
Yeah, I think they had like race Saturday, Sunday or something. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, I think it might have been Friday, Saturday, and Monday because they had a holiday on Monday too.
Yeah. True.
Normally we'd be watching Neo, sorry.
Yeah, well, DXR nowadays.
Yeah, well, it's a shame they couldn't. I understand why, but that was my Easter ritual, watching Neo Buggy. It's good to see. I see Jamie Clancy won at Hearts. They had a doubleheader down there as well. So I'm happy for my UK RC brothers that they got to go racing. All those 10 scale guys got to go. I believe it's outdoor racing only, though. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's good to see. Very good to see. Dude, the ROAR nets opened up last week and sold out in like 5 minutes.
I've never understood this type of thing. Like, why is it like, especially nationals? Like, I can understand like the DHI Cup or Neo race. Those races fill up, and there's no way to qualify people. But like nationals, at least get like the top 50 guys from last year straight in. Like they just have to say, "Hey, I'm going."
Well, I think if you make the semis, you're in. If you made the semis the year before, you're in.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's enough because, come on, it's fucking idiotic that you have to be ready. You have to have your internet working to get into the national race. Like that's, come on.
Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in the SCRC Thought of Dawn and Quiet segment today. So I just thought it was impressive that it sold out in 5 minutes. It beat his record from the year before. And I'm excited because LCRC is a great facility. I was talking to the owners the other day. I'm all set up to go up there. They have everything mapped out. Like they're taking this serious, and it's a good. And I'm really excited. This is my favorite race. Honestly, this is my favorite race because it's the only race that's done like the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
you have proper tech. You have IFMAR ladder style mains. You have referees that supposedly work and all this type of stuff. I hope they don't do that open practice like they did at Thornhill back in 2019, though. I don't like that.
They had open practice?
Yes.
Whoa.
So I hope they...
At ROAR Nationals?
Yeah. I don't know. Dude, we shall see, but we're going to talk more about ROAR later on. I have been told, and I don't know how this information, I got it from somebody and they showed me on RC Tech. I'm kind of, RC Tech is kind of, but this sounds pretty legit. But I'm hearing that Kyosho has been sold again to a company called Surugaya. So I'm wondering who Surugaya is. I looked up Surugaya and it's like an anime thing on on Facebook. I don't know if this is the same company, but we know Kyosho got bought by a bank, and obviously they're looking to get rid of this because they just bought it because they owed the money. So we need to find out who this Suragaya is and what's going to happen with Kyosho. It's very interesting news, sir. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it's been sold like 10 times in the past 2 years, according to like these rumors. So, and it actually just, what happened was the bank just took ownership since they got so in debt, I think. I'm not sure, but I mean, I guess that's what happened. Like usually if the bank takes control, you're very much in debt.
Yeah, I would say so. But there's always what does this mean for Kyosho Racing and
Probably
whatnot?
nothing.
I don't think it means anything.
They don't have any professional drivers. Like, what could it mean? Like they have
CJ
zero.
They have
but
CJ and
America.
they have Yao.
Yeah, but Yao is paid by his dad, who owns the Portuguese Kyosho distribution. Then CJ is probably not even paid, but if he is, he's paid by Kyosho America. So the actual Kyosho factory doesn't pay a dime to any driver.
Well, they paid Yuichi Kanai.
Yeah, but that's because he's a designer.
Yeah,
but he's a designer, so that's a different thing. That's like saying, well, Associated pays Brent Tielke,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I want to know who this company Surugaya is. But I guess all will come out in her soon. But yeah, apparently
the thing is, like,
again.
The issue about Kyosho is like their like revenue used to be like more than 100 million at some point.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
they ran the world at one time. They ran the RC world at one point.
Yeah, but it's not like they made that off that 100 million. Probably like 5 million at tops was from racing. Like the rest of it is just RTRs.
Yeah.
So the RTR business is struggling. That like defines it. Doesn't matter if Thibaut won the worlds when he ran Kyosho or if he lost the worlds or whatever. But like that doesn't really affect the company really.
So many more out there now, man. So many more RTR.
Yeah,
so much
like
more RCR out there.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like their RTRs were always pretty bad. The only thing they had was the name recognition. Like
what I want?
Traxxas cars were so much better, and now with Arma, they are actually pretty good cars. So like those two are like actually like much better RTR companies than what Kyosho ever was.
You know what I've always wanted? Well, Mini Z is doing really good for Kyosho, number one.
Well, yeah, obviously, like, the Mini Cs are good, and like probably like before I was born, they were pretty good. But like since I've been racing RC, they've always been pretty awful.
Yeah, but they're back. They're back now. Mini Z's back, and people are into it.
No, but I was talking about the rest of the RTR stuff.
Oh, okay.
Mini Z is like the good stuff. They always had that. Those are cool.
The one Kyosho vehicle that I've always wanted was the radio controlled bike that had the moving driver. That move.
Yeah,
I wanted that so bad. I gotta get that one day just to put on the shelf.
You know what? The coolest RC vehicle I've ever seen is an RC submarine. There was this guy. There was this guy at the local store. Yeah, but there was this. I think it was like a local hobby shop, and they had 2 of those for like I don't know, like 5 years. No one who wants a RC submarine.
I mean,
so one guy came. But like one guy came, bought it, put it in his pool, drove it around for like 5 minutes, and it just stopped and broke. He came back to the store, bought another one, and the same thing happened again. So after 5 years, the guy working at the store sold 2 of those in one day, and both of those broke immediately.
Well, I mean, on that tip, you got these ROVs now. My buddy has one in Bermuda. My buddy Weldon, a company sent him an ROV because he's an avid diver.
What's the ROV?
Remote control. It's radio operated vehicle, but it's an underwater submarine.
It's like a. Oh, okay.
So it's got cameras and all that stuff, and you can operate it with your cell phone.
Yeah.
Like it's like a drone, but the only thing it's tethered.
What's tethered mean?
It's tethered, like it's got a cable connected to it.
Oh, okay. So that's not really radio control. That's just like remote.
Right, but I don't think you can get ROVs that aren't. I don't think the signal passes through water. That's the issue.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
So, but then that submarine, maybe I don't know. But these things can go down pretty deep. They got good cameras, and like before to get an ROV, you had to be in a site, like you had to be in a university or something. Now, anybody can get one. All right, man. Another thing that I noticed: Madman Marco Barufalo beat Boots, Polito, Barton, and everybody this past weekend.
Yeah, and he was like, him and Polito beat Boots by like 20 seconds. So him
Yeah.
and Polito were pretty close, but then like Boots and Berton really kind of weird. Maybe they had like, maybe just they didn't have a good mate, but that's Berton's been like practicing all winter.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know. The Infinity Buggy is not like, I'm not feeling it yet. Like I'm not getting the hype. Like I don't think it's gonna be that great.
Well, it takes time. It takes time. They should have the greatest. They have the biggest budget.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they should have it, but I don't think they have.
It's interesting. You know what, man? I think Barufalo or Madman or M what is it? M cubed. I think he is the most. Yeah, well, it's 3 M's. My buddy Pat Finn said we should get you because I called him Madman Marco, right?
Yeah.
And he goes M cubed. So shout out to Pat Finn. I think he's one of the most underrated drivers in RC. Like honestly, he's that good.
He's really like in terms of speed, he's probably one of the fastest guys. But like in terms of actual like percentage of races he finishes and wins, it's not that great. Like compared to like even like Berton, like he's an European champion. Like and even in Italy, like Berton is usually much closer to Ongaro. Like in terms of like actual where they finish, but like in terms of pace, like even in Italy, I think I think like in a warm up, like he was super fast, but then he had some issues at the Euros.
Well, it's just Barufalo. Barufalo is still young. I think it's 22, 23. And
yeah, he's around there.
He's just wild, man. He's just wide open, like and he doesn't. He'll learn. He'll calm down. You know him. His like.
Has Mayfield calmed down?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well,
maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't throw his radio around that much anymore. But like the driving, he's still pretty punched.
No, but he's calmed down a lot. Trust me. He's finishing more races and like look at DNC. He was able to drive a car that wasn't perfect. He even said the car wasn't perfect, and he drove it. He drove it the best.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like before he moved to Mugen and MX, he had subpar engines and a car that was awful to drive. So,
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Dude.
I think it's just like if you're a certain type of driver, you really can't shake it off. Like you can move a bit, but you'll always be that type of driver.
I get what you mean. No, I really think that that Mayfield has calmed down a lot, man. And
yeah, but like the driving style is still the same.
Yeah, but he's learned to calm down and not make as many mistakes, and also make up for his mistakes. And he's not good. Before Mayfield, like when he was 2014 Worlds, he was out front by far, and still like wide open until he blew a servo. You know what I mean? He's learned to back it down a little bit and conserve it and win races. So
yeah, but he still has those days, though.
Yes,
so,
of course.
I don't know.
Of course.
But like you think about like someone like Tebow, he's never like too punched. Like there's not a day where Tebow is too punched. Well, Mayfield still has those days.
That's true.
The thing.
That's true. But I think Barufalo is gonna. I want him to just come back to America because they hate him in America and they like to talk about him. And
yeah, the thing is, like I believe he's like the fastest racer. Well, apart from Ronald, the fastest European when he goes to America.
At DNC in 2020, he was amazing, man. Well, I was like this.
Yeah, the thing is, he needs to realize there's bumps on the track.
Oh my gosh. All right, a few more news here. Shinadachi to Mugen. Didn't he used to run Mugen before?
I don't know. He was Serpent and Yokomo for a very long time.
Yeah. He
was
just
Serpent
like
and Yokomo for like almost like I don't know since like 2012 or something. He's been like Serpent and Yokomo. So I'm wondering if Mugen is like trying to pursue 10 scale, or if this is like Shin starting to focus on 8 scale only.
mhm.
It's a weird move.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's be
Like
interesting
considering
to see
like
what happens with this.
yeah, and he was like the main designer of Yokomo. He designed both the YC4 and the
Mhm.
YC2. So it's not like he was
Mm.
just a random guy at Yokomo. He
You
was
know
like
what?
the main designer of the cars. Like I can't see him. And the thing is, like while he was working with Yokomo, he was working with Serpent. He was at the Euros multiple times.
Mhm.
When Neumann was running Serpent, and he was like focusing on 8 scale. So I can't see him only starting to
Yeah.
focus on 8 scale, especially like when they have already like Drake and Mayfield and Robert in Europe, and there's like they already have a pretty decent like structure there. So would be odd to me that he would be only focused on 8 scale. So
Well,
I
where does he
mean,
go for 10 scale?
no, but like I think if he doesn't go any further for 10 scale, it's gonna be Mugen.
Mhm.
Mugen's gonna come up with 10 scales. And that's the thing, like they came up with a touring car. Like
Mhm.
they were only Nitro and then well the e buggies and like those cars, but like they were only like 8 scale or then Nitro 10 scale off road on road for forever. And
Mhm.
they came up with a touring car like I don't know, 4 years ago or something.
Yep.
So like
Mhm.
I think they're trying to pivot into the like everything market, sort of like what Serpent is doing, but they are doing it I think much better.
Well, I think they're seeing like 10 scale just growing bigger and bigger,
Yeah, and
and they're like,
maybe it's just like the market isn't big enough to just focus on 8 scale.
yep.
Like for a
Mhm.
company, what they're trying to be, like to have
Mhm.
pro drivers, it's not like there's so many brands now, so it's not like before. It was like Kyosho, Mugen, and then some other brands. That was the
Right.
8 scale market before. Now it's Kyosho, Mugen, S-Works, Associated, TLR, and then throw in like JQ in there and throw in HB too. Those are big. So there's like so many like actually big companies and Techno, of course. Like there's so many big like who have a lot of drivers.
Mhm.
So it's much harder to just focus on 8 scale.
I think that
So
it's a natural progression. I didn't even think of it that way. But if he does go to an only 10 scale company, I have to think Schumacher, to be honest.
yeah, but the thing is that wouldn't make any sense because they have Trish and they have all the UK guys, and it
Mhm.
would be very odd to bring in a Japanese designer. Especially
Yeah.
now when Schumacher has like the best 10 scale cars. Well, on dirt, not really, but on any other surface, pretty much they have the best 10 scale cars.
It's going to be
And they're
interesting.
not
I never
the
thought
four wheel
of
drive is
yours.
pretty good on dirt. So
Yeah, it's interesting because I never even thought of your theory just now.
yeah,
So that makes me wonder.
yeah, I
Makes me
wouldn't be
wonder.
surprised.
I
I'd say it
wouldn't be
that way.
either. And speaking of Schumacher, Tyler Jones is going to be running their two-wheel drive in America. So that's good. The dark horse is going full into 10 scale. It looks like he's on his way to is at PNB. He's actually he's on my list, like one of my favorites to win PNB.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna
all
do
that.
that. Are we gonna like guess who's gonna win and
Yeah, we're
whatever?
gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do
Okay,
that when we
okay.
talk about the NR. When we talk about.
Oh, okay. I
All
wasn't
right.
in on this.
Yeah. Nitro licensing in Europe. So my buddy Magnus, I believe, is in Norway or maybe Sweden. He's definitely not in
What's his
Finland.
name? Does he
Begins with
have
B.
a what's his? Oh, you don't want to say the full name?
No, it begins with a B. I just can't remember it and I can't say it. I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's Magnus Bird. It's Norwegian. I believe. No, it's Swedish. It's Swedish. Sorry, Swedish. Because so anyway, he went and got his nitro license to run 25% fuel, and he said it was the
Yeah.
easiest thing in the world, and it has nothing
Yeah,
to do
it's
with.
not actually that hard.
Yeah, he had
We
to
can get it
apply
too here.
to. He had to apply to like the authorities on
Yeah.
bombs and fire and all that stuff to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you go to the police's website, then you
mhm.
apply for a license to acquire nitro, and you can acquire up to 100%. So it doesn't seem like it's gonna be an issue. The only issue right now is the selling of it. So that's
Right.
still pretty open. I haven't heard anything about that. Getting the license to buy it or own it, that's easy. I mean, that's not an issue. But the selling is still quite. I haven't heard anything about that yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, he got his, and I know a lot of people were asking about it. So yeah, he just
yeah,
applied, and he got it, and he said, I don't buy much fuel anyway, Keenan. So he showed me who he applied to, and it was all done by letters and stuff. So now he has his nitro license.
yeah,
So
yeah. You just go to the police website. At least this is where it works in Finland. You go to the police website, and then you just apply for a license under the explosives and all that.
the police website, Max, police.
Yeah, it's poliisi.fi or something like that, I think. Or
No, I'm just
Suomen
teasing you.
poliisi.fi.
How you saying police?
Oh yeah,
Police.
well we say poliisi, so it's
Right.
a
Yeah.
bit different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Police. Almost like Italian.
Well, if when you say it, it sounds Italian, but it's poliisi, so it's not that
Okay.
poliisi. It's not that Italian.
All right. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we got a question from my buddy Benjamin James, and he's asked it a few times about, can we get a series going with a combination of races? And they always think of not just one series with one race, but using major races in America. No, we're talking America at this point. And we was answering his question, and it kind of dawned on me. I was with Joseph, I believe, and I said, well, you know what? We have DNC, PNB, Silver State, and the Nationals. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get all this same, when I say top pros, I mean top 15 to 20 at most. Like, when I say pros, I mean guys who are doing this for a living, guys who are on the cusp of doing it for a living. But I'm sorry, like that's what I mean. When I say pro, that's what I'm talking about. Man, I got a bike out there revving up like crazy. So as we was talking about this, I was like, yeah, we should do this. And I know, look, RCGP did this, a virtual series back in 2018, and it was okay, but it kind of,
They didn't promote it really. They just put it up.
Right. So this idea was born from that question and us talking about it. So, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I said, I'm going to make something, and I'm going to use these 4 races because I think everybody's going to go there. I ran it by you. I ran it by Connie, and I said, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to take a year to do a logo. So let's see if I got this right. I don't have it right. Okay, here we go. Let me enlarge this. So here we have it, people. The NNRC Cup Series. Shout out to Rascal Graphics. He done this for me. Actually, I couldn't decide between the laid on one and this one to the right, which is going to be the trophy. So I put this to vote into the Patreon. If you want to be a patron, the link is in the written description of this podcast. So I put it to vote in my Patreon, and this one and the other one kind of were tie. So
I'm gonna vote the right one. The right one is better. That looks really cool.
Yeah, you sound like JQ, and I like it too. But we're actually getting a trophy made of this. So I'm getting like a 30-inch trophy. Matt Owings is doing it. He's a JQ driver. He's making the trophies for PNB, and yeah. So this just came off the cuffs, like off the top of my head. And we came up with it. And like I said, it's DNC, PNB this weekend, Silver State in May, which I'll be attending, and then Raw Nats that I'll be attending as well. And the winner will, and all these, and I put another vote in the Patreon because one guy's like, you should have drop rounds. And I was like, I don't know if I want to have drop rounds.
No drop rounds.
So
especially if everyone shows up. If it's like, let's say like Mayfield misses PNB, and Tebow misses Silver State, and like if there's like everyone misses one race, then you can have like one dropout. But if it's like one guy misses one race, then you have no dropouts. Right?
I agree with you. And to make it more exciting, a dropout would have been nice. But I said let's keep it like real series. And the majority of the people said no, keep it 4 races. So I listened to the patrons, and it's going to be 4 races. These 4 races, all 4 count. So hold on, let me remove this and hold on. I've lost it.
What's the point system?
Okay, so the point system is we're only using the top 30. The reason I said top 30 is because that's like a A and a B main. That's like the A and B main or the 2 semifinals at a race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to use the winner gets 30 points, and then it's 1 point down to 30. So 30 will get 1 point, and everybody under 30 will get 1.2. It still be counting people under 30, but they won't be on the. They probably won't be on the thing on the whatchamacallit.
Can we do like an actual point system?
Oh, I have an actual point. I have all this set up already. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but like that point system, I don't know. That kind of sucks. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I mean, you could have gave me some suggestions in the way, but how it works too is also TQ gets 3 points. So,
yeah, that's a positive. Yeah.
3 second Max says that's a positive.
Yeah, but I think you can still change it, right?
I mean, we can change it. That's not.
Yeah, can we? Let's sort through this. Let's put like an actual point system, because the thing is, if you win all race, if you finish second all races, and then you win one, finish second in 3, and the one guy wins 3 and finishes second, but the other guy has 1 more TQ, the one who finishes second more wins.
Well, I didn't come up with this point system, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it now. But we still have time, so it's not a big deal.
Yes, we have time. So anyway, we've set it up on House of RC here. So we have the rules. So let's go through the rules. So races are great, series are better. The No Name RC podcast would like to introduce the NNRC Cup, a virtual series born live on the air of the NNRC by Lefty Great, and a question from Benjamin James. Inspired by the RCGP's Season 0 and developed in collaboration with House of RC. As many of the top racers are attending DNC, PNB, Silver State, and ROAR Nationals, we thought it would be a great idea to track their progress and build the tension and discussion from a race to race if we made a series out of them. Now, I'm sorry, people. Okay, it says 3 to count here. At first I was going to just have 3, but that's not. We're going to have 4. Rowan, you were supposed to erase this. It's only Pro Nitro Buggy. Sorry, guys. I'm not throwing any shade at E-Buggy.
Don't apologize. That's the right attitude.
There won't be no E-Buggy at the Nationals. So
yeah, exactly.
And honestly, I can barely focus with one class. Like, let's not get confused already. So the information rules, like we might go over these points here, but it's 30 down to 1. So Max says he has a better point system. So we'll listen to him in a minute. And I just want to bring it up. We have already the rankings in her from DNC. Sorry, internet's taking a little bit of time here. So if you haven't filled out your House of RC profile, you should. But as you know, Ryan Mayfield, as of now, Ryan Mayfield won DNC. So he's in front, and he's got his profile filled out here. He's got all his sponsors. Cole Ogden in second with 29 points. Tanner Denny, Rivkin, blah, blah, blah. And then Fenn, he TQ'd, but he came 10th. So he actually got 20 points, 19 points plus 3. So it's 22nd. 22 points. So we're going to track these points and the people. I only have the top 20 or whatever. We haven't finished doing this. And like a lot of these guys will not go to PNB. You know what I mean? So this is going to change over the next 4 races. Max wants to change the point system. But here's the key. This is going to reward consistency. And I'm hearing now that Ryan Mayfield isn't going to make PNB. So this is really going to affect him in his points. Ryan Mayfield can't make it because he's having a baby. He's not having a baby. His wife's having a baby. Sorry. And this is really going to affect his points, no matter what he if he finish off with his point system or whatever Max says. But I thought this would be cool so we can really look at what a series would do for RC. Yes, and I tried to make it fair. So it's 2 West Coast races, it's 2 East Coast races. I think PNB is the biggest East Coast, or one of the biggest races in America, but biggest East Coast race, and the Nationals on the East Coast and Silver State and DNC on the West Coast. And you know what? I have like I said, the trophy is going to be made. I'm not giving it to them. They're just going to get their name engraved on the base. So whoever wins the inaugural NNRC Cup will be the first name on there. And I'm getting a little plaque, like a metal plaque of the actual trophy. The trophy is going to be the trophy standing up to 2 cars and a base. So on the base is going to be, it's going to be all made out of metal. It's going to be all 30 inches tall. It's going to be about that tall. And I am going to present it to the winner.
30 inches?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's over 2 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. We want big trophies, buddy. We want big trophies.
But you got to take a picture with the winner at the Nationals, though.
Yes, I'm going to present it to the winner at the Nationals, but he doesn't keep it. I'll give him, I'm going to get like a 12-inch replica of it made, but just like a plaque, not an actual trophy. And he gets to keep it. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about this is that it can go to different, it doesn't have to stay with just these 4 races. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I could take it and go to Europe and use it for the Masters of Europe or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the NNRC Cup. Now, maybe I might differentiate. Maybe NNRC Cup USA, NNRC Cup Europe. Maybe. You know what I mean? We'll see. But I don't know, man. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to give us something to talk about. And all right. Well, tell me why you think the point system should, how the point system should be, Max.
So first of all, can you take that off so I can see myself?
Yes.
So first of all, as Degani says, if you don't make the main, like whatever, you know, and even if you're in the main, it's kind of waste of space. But the waste of space thing, let's forget about that. So first of all, points only for making the main. Top 15 gets points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, well, the point system can be pretty much whatever. But like for example, this is only an example. But let's say you give 30 points to the winner, 25 to the second, 23 to the third, and then you just go down until it's like balances out of 15 so that the 15th guy gets like 1 point. So pretty much it's just like it's progressive or degressive. I don't know. Yeah, but pretty much so that like if you win, it's more worth it. Like if you win and finish second, it's better than winning and finishing third. You know, like oh no, sorry, finishing second twice. So if you win and finish third, you beat second and second. You know.
Right. I think we're going to adjust it, but I'm still going to do 30 people.
Why 30?
Because I told you it's like the A and B main. You know what I mean? I don't
know. We can do
A and B main and the semis.
Yeah. We can do 30, but yeah, but I mean the main is really the only thing that counts, you know?
I know.
Like even
we
F1
all know that after the main nobody really cares, but
yeah, but if you think about F1, like the top 10 people only get points. And like there's 20 guys on the grid and only the top 10 get points. So
well, I didn't want to go like that. I want it to be different. I want to give everybody points. Not everybody points, but obviously we're going to be focusing on the top 15 more or less, right?
Yeah. But I think like because if you don't make the main, why do you get points? Like let's imagine a scenario where like there's one guy who wins 3 races and then misses 1 race. Let's say that's Mayfield. And then there's like someone who finishes like top 5, and then he gets 1 race where he finishes like 20th, and he gets enough points to win the championship. Like is that 20th place worth it?
Well, yeah, but then we would have to make 15 and below like worth 1 point only. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, then it doesn't really matter anymore. So
all right,
top 15 only get points.
Well, I will kind of keep it because I mean, look at DNC. Ty Tasman was in the B main. You know.
Yeah, so it's like missing. If you suck so bad that you miss the main, there. It's the same as you. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like he wasn't there. Like he was there physically, but he wasn't there racing wise. You know. Like imagine this: you could DNF, you could qualify and DNF like from like the B main and still get points. Like come on, like I don't know. I just don't agree. Like imagine F1 drivers got points like. To like if you think about the system, F1 drivers like 10 drivers get points. If all 20 drivers got points, it would mean that if 5 guys DNF, the guy who DNF like the last gets most points, even though he doesn't finish. That's pretty much what your system, like if you had 30 people, that system would do. So it's you need to reward the people who actually show up.
Well, they will get rewarded. I mean, for instance, all right, let's talk about PMB because Mayfield's not going, right? So he's going to lose those points, and Cole Ogden's in second. Tanner Denny's in second. It's all, I think Cole Ogden's going to be one of the guys that does all of these races. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he will benefit from being consistent. Well, he also has to have good runs. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
but
it's gonna, you know.
yeah, but let's compare like Mayfield to Ty. So if Mayfield wins 3 races
Mhm.
and like then skips PNB, and Ty finishes in the B main at DNC, and then like finishes all right in the rest of races, he's most likely gonna have more points than Mayfield, even though he sucked more during the season than what Mayfield did.
Right, but that's the whole point. I understand why Mayfield isn't going. Don't get me wrong, but the point is we want to get these guys consistently going to races so we can do something like this.
Yeah, but we
Or
don't want them
actually
to
have a series
consistently
that
suck.
does it. All right,
We
well,
want them
fix
to.
the point system. You know what? You know what, Mr. Max? You present me with your point system tomorrow, and we're not doing the Formula One. I went to top 30,
Yeah.
and I went to top 30, and I went.
No.
Yes,
That's
I won
that's
it
the
like
whole
that.
issue. Why 30?
Well,
I don't get
Well,
it.
we was going to do everybody, the whole class. If you take the whole class from DNC, everybody that enters pro, you're going to have people that go to PNB that didn't go to DNC and going to the nationals and stuff like that. And then the nationals is a completely different race altogether because it's a complete different format. And then you have the people in the semis.
Okay.
If you make the
okay.
semis at a nationals or worlds, it's a good. Okay, it's not as good as making the main, but
Yeah.
it's still great. You
Yeah, but
still
like
rank.
if you run under 45 minutes, you don't get points. All right.
All right. What's
Okay.
what's
Let's
up, Max
let's
Burke
okay.
Eccleston? What's
You hey, let's solve this. So tomorrow, you put a vote up on your NNRC Facebook. You put a vote. Should we do points for top 30 or top 15? And then we put up your point system and my point system, and then just take a vote. So if the people want, like, this is a democracy, not really, but let's assume it's a democracy. So okay, I'm gonna do the point system for top 15, and then you put yours, whatever it was, like 30 for the winner, and then
all right?
below
right.
from that, and then like we put people and vote. Okay.
You know what? I can even, if you want, you can go right in House of RC and fix all of that yourself. But I'm not doing it. That's Rowan and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be
I don't know how
interesting.
that works.
I'm really excited about it. We got talking points. And yeah, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. And, you know, we got to talk about PNB a little bit here now because we have PNB coming up. They did the track reveal. Did you see it?
I haven't. I tried to look it up last night, but I think they wasn't ready.
No, they
with the
didn't
track.
finish it by last night. They finished it.
Yeah.
They did it today. Dave did a track walk. He's going all out. He's got jumbotrons, like, you know, where they stay behind the staging area. I like that too. I'm not big on the whole monster thing, but hey, that's his thing.
Yeah.
He's having a social. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, boy, like they say they're not in competition with Joey, but of course they're in competition with Joey.
Come on.
Of course they are. And now Joe is
Yeah.
calling Silver State. Joe is calling Silver State the indoor worlds. I'm sorry. I've been to race time events and ain't nobody. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I give Dave all the credit.
Hey, who made the indoor worlds in 2006? Come on, you don't get that title so easy.
Neo
It was
Buggy.
Neo, yeah. So you don't get that title so easy. Like
No, and when
nobody's
it comes to indoor
beating Neo
races,
Buggy.
when it comes to indoor races, Dave and Race Time do it the best, in my opinion.
No, come
Yes,
on,
they do.
DXR
in
Neo.
America. In America,
Okay,
I've
yeah,
never been to a
yeah.
Neo.
Okay,
But they do it so now Joe is claiming that Silver State's going to be indoor worlds. So these guys, these promoters are competing, but I like it because Dave.
No, that's the thing. Like this is the only good thing about capitalism. This is the only good thing about capitalism. People competing.
Yeah, but he went all out. He's got live RC there, and you know what's cool about this stadium is they have camera perches all around the stadium.
Yeah,
already there.
That's good.
So I'm really excited to see what Live RC is gonna do. They don't. Jimmy and Jimmy Babcock isn't gonna. So I'm wondering if they're gonna just let Scotty and Tyler call the, like what you heard on the TV is what the racers are gonna hear. But I don't know if that's gonna work.
The thing is, like at PNB, you really can't even hear the announcer. At least when I was there, like there was no way I could hear Jimmy. Like if he called, like, "Hey, let this guy by," like there's no way to hear it, and then fog and everything. So you don't really know what's happening. You just finish the race when everyone else goes to the pits. So that's pretty much how PNB was for me. So like,
Hmm.
doesn't really matter if Scotty and Tyler are talking about some short codes or lipos in their luggage or whatever. Like you can't even hear it anyway. So
Yeah, they can't do. I wonder who's going to be calling the race. I don't know who's going to be the RD and all that stuff. But
yeah,
Dave's going all out, man. A social, all this type of stuff. So he, they
yeah,
had a big party at DNC, and well, Joey didn't, but Joey always has a social. He always has a social. So Dave's I like it, and you know what? And also Dave he put up a post the other day about Wicked Weekend and capping the race and doing stuff too.
yeah.
So he's thinking
I
outside
like
the
it.
box.
I like it.
And
Hmm.
yeah, he's got the cool trophies and
Well,
stuff. All right. I'm gonna say I
they
do
are
not like
they
these
are
24
still
hour practice though.
yeah, they are still very much inside the box, but at least they are sort of trying the other side of the box.
Yes. I have to give them. I'm just happy to have it on Live RC so I can watch it all this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. That
Now,
that alone is like, yeah, you did good. Like that
yeah,
alone, for like what it was like, when I went there, it was like it was fun, but as a race, like as a like professional race, it wasn't that, you know.
well,
Yeah.
we've
But we
said that
went through
before.
this before. Yeah,
Yeah,
but people know what I'm talking about.
right. So I went to look at RC sign up, and it isn't many pros signed up, it's just a lot of people probably will go. So I can't really say who's gonna be there, but I know like Tebow and the whole Tekno crew is gonna be there. Rivkin, Cav, Hackert, who else? I haven't seen Fenn's name there, but I'll be surprised if he isn't there. He should be there. He did pretty
Yeah.
good her last
I
year.
think yeah, he went there. He has gone there like every year. So it'd be
So
weird if he didn't.
I think we'll get, and Lutz is going. He boycotted it last year, but he's going this year. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna get almost, and Ty Tessman's name's down there too. So I'm wondering if it's coming
Yeah,
over.
that's good.
Well, I'm wondering if he came from Canada over there. But I don't think they could come through Canada. Yeah, maybe they can. I don't know. We'll see. It's
Yeah,
hard to say
I don't
who's
know.
gonna be there because we don't. Unfortunately, people aren't really good with pre-sign-ups, so we don't know who's there. But I am. You know what, man? We have to make. We have to talk about it. And I saw the track, dude. It is. I didn't think they can make the track bigger, but it looks like they make it bigger every year. And whoa, it is massive, dude. They got the Joker lane.
Is it done the right way this time?
Well, the Joker lane is coming. Like where you go in the Joker, you come off. You can go past stage and then go into the straightaway. It's similar to
Is
last
it
year,
but is it longer or shorter?
it's
Is it
shorter, the
if
Joker
you
lane. But you
come
can
on?
only do it. I
Why?
think it. I don't. Well, the other, because the other part of the track's longer, right?
Yeah,
But
but
you like
like
the Joker chain to be longer, ain't it?
yeah, but like you remember last time when there was the Joker lane, there was
Mm-hmm.
like no one knew what was happening in the race because everyone was just like doing the Joker lane in like the first few laps, and then like people hit each other at the end of the straight because it was like when you went full
Yeah, but it's
throttle
not
and the
there
other
no
guy went
more.
like braking.
It's
Yeah, but
not
like
there. It's
even
only
like if you do a Joker lane, you gotta do it so that it's like the Joker part is longer, you know?
right. But they reversed it. They did it so that the Joker lane gives you an advantage, and you could do
Yeah,
it.
but
I think you can do it
that
every.
that never works.
Well, it worked for Tyler Jones. I think no, not Tyler. It worked for
Oh
Tebow
yeah.
last year. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I think I think they should do it the other way. It's not like that big of a deal to do it the other way either.
well, it's going
So
to be interesting to see how much time that this cuts off your lap. And I think in the
yeah,
main you could do it 3 times or every 10 minutes you can do it.
yeah.
So
But it
it's
was a
going to be
shit
interesting
show
to
at the
see.
start of that main. When I was there, like it was awful because the place where they put it was like the worst possible.
I
So
know
it was
because you had
like
to jam brakes and
everyone,
go like that.
yeah, and everyone did it like the first lap. So like
Hmm.
I remember I got a good start. I got up to like fifth, and then like we had a plan with Igani, so I would just like after pit I would do it so that I wouldn't flame out in the bumps if I crashed. So
Hmm.
it was like a pretty good tactic. And then like I remember I had a good start. I was like fifth or something. And then like I asked Mike like after a few laps because I saw people do the Joker. Like where am I? He's like you're like 13th or something. And I hadn't even crashed or anything. So it's like everyone did the Joker like 5 times. And some people were like almost lapping me. Like even
Hmm.
though it was like the second lap or something because they just did the Joker and you cut like almost like 10 seconds doing the Joker.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see it. The track looks really good. I have to see cars going on it first so I can I haven't seen nothing today as I speak. But man, you know what, man? I'm gonna make my picks. I'm gonna make my picks. All right. We know Mayfield's not going. Let's assume everybody else is going. Who's your top 3 in Pro Nitro Buggy?
So, yeah, everyone but Mayfield pretty much. So,
Yeah.
top 3 Nitro Buggy. Hard to say. Cole is never really that good at this race for some reason. So I would like to pick him, but I don't know, he struggled here before. So I'd go for Tebow. But okay, I have a I believe in Testman now. So Testman, Tebow, like Jones, probably. Oh maybe Fend. Fend's third. Fend can finish third.
I am not breaking with tradition. I am staying faithful. And I am picking Fend if he goes. Because I think he'll be able to make up more time on the Joker laps and get back into order. But I'll be honest with you. I can see Tebow doing it again. And if Tyler Jones has won this race. So
yeah.
And you know who was really fast at this race last year for 2020 was Seth Van Dalen. So it's gonna be hard. And Cav needs a good finish. So
is Cav going?
Yep, he's going. The GOAT will be there.
Wait, well he runs Pro Line, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because J Concept is really good at this dirt, I think. I feel like it is.
Well, AKA won last year.
Yeah, but who finished second or third? Can you remember?
Was Seth Van Dalen and Joe Bornhorst was really good till he flamed out and he was Pro Line last year.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I don't know. I think yeah, J Concept is usually pretty good.
It's East Coast
on the East Coast track. Yeah.
So I'm going with Fend.
Well, actually, yeah, Bornhorst might be a good pick too.
I'm going with Fend, Tebow, Jones. Oh, and
I went Testman, Tebow, Fend.
Right? Yeah, and my dark horse to win it from all of them, the GOAT. I think the track.
Yeah,
it will be. I don't think it will get really rough, and I think that will.
It gets like annoyingly rough. It gets annoyingly rough. It gets like bumps in the places you don't expect them to be. So like that's the worst case scenario for TLR.
No wooden jumps this year. They got rid of them after last year. Like cars were breaking them because they were hitting them so hard. So they just said no wooden jumps. See, he's listening. He's listening.
I actually like the wooden jumps. You have to just build it better.
Well, they stay nice. But, well, how they did it
it's nice because
yeah,
it's nice because like it has like a nice lift. So like normally when you hit a dirt jump, the car goes like sort of flat and flying weirdly. With the wooden jump, it sort of like bounces up. So it has like a sort of this slow jump. So that's really cool. But like you gotta build them really stiff, and you really like. I think when they put it, the few times they put it in places where it's like super high speed, and that's like the worst possible way to do it, because like if it breaks, it's gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah. Well, last year the jumps, the way they had it, they were coming so fast, the bumpers were digging into, that steep concave like that.
Yeah.
And that just put holes in it. They were hitting it too fast. Like people were literally jumping almost right into the jump and just boom. So they just got rid of it. And it's gonna be interesting, man. I think it's gonna be a good race. And man, I'm just so excited to be able to watch it with live RC. And that's kudos to Dave for doing that. Hey, Dave's listening, man. I swear he listens to this podcast because he done the trophies.
I think actually, I remember after the last PMB, like I think we were like IHOP or something. And I think Dave was there with someone, maybe with Jeff Keaton. I don't know. He was with someone.
Oh yeah,
but we were like IHOP or something. Like I remember because I was like kind of complaining, like I was like joking around, but like I was making like real points though. But like he asked like, hey, like you're European or whatever, and he wanted to know like my opinion. And he like I felt like he actually like listened, even though like I was kind of rude. But like he feels like a person who actually listens. He might disagree and not like think about it the same way we do, but like I can appreciate like actually listening and thinking about it. And
well, I mean,
it clearly shows, and he clearly shows that he's he's doing sort of what we want him to do and what I think everyone should do. So he's sort of getting with the page like what we've been talking about and what I've been talking about. So I'll give him like huge props to this, because like the thing is like it's not easy to do, like, because especially when it's like the culture is so like we can't
Yes.
change this. This has been like this forever.
Hmm.
Like this is like how everyone, if you post on Facebook, like all the guys comment like this. So like for him to make the step like, hey, actually these guys are somewhat right at least, like that's a positive. But I mean, yeah, he could do much more, but like I can appreciate what he's not doing with this
Baby
already.
steps. Baby steps. He
Yeah,
he he
baby
he
step.
the jumbotron. People's like, well, I said, well, it'd be cool. You can, just like I don't mind that. That's little touches that I think are good. The
Yeah.
social. I really like the long jump thing. I like that. We flopped big
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but like I mean that thing, for example, and the psycho thing, that's like that's what makes Psycho Nitro Blast, in my opinion, what it
Hmm.
is. Like all that extra stuff they do really well, and that's like
Hmm.
the atmosphere they build there, that's really good. I'm just
Right.
complaining about like the racing aspect, like
Well, I would like
so
I would like to see him do away with 24-hour practice, but that's his thing. That's part of
yeah.
it too.
Yeah,
But I would
I
like
mean,
to see.
I'll accept 24-hour practice for Psycho Nitro Blast.
Hmm.
Maybe I mean, the way I would do it is everyone else has 24-hour practice, and then you have like a pro class that has like regular practice, and they can't attend the 24-hour practice. So
Maybe.
you have a professional class that has like the
Hmm.
pros. So you have actually a professional race, and then everyone else gets the psycho experience.
Well, if I was Dave, I would demand these manufacturers to make sure the professionals to professional. I set up a factory road because he actually has the main like midday, and I would
Yeah,
I would
and
I
like.
mean I would be
Mhm.
promoting that to all those people. It's nobody ain't doing nothing in Tennessee on a Sunday afternoon. They could come and
Yeah,
watch this, and you don't have to charge people. Just promote it. Get people in there. But as soon as they come into the entrance, give them a pamphlet. There's the pros signing autographs, signing posters of themselves, taking pictures, whatever. Then they could go
yeah,
back to the
yeah,
pits, hang out, get ready, and go ahead. But at least say, hey, look, we want to have a professional setting. Can we have guys not wearing black shirt? I know I'm wearing a black shirt, but we can have guys not wearing a black
yeah.
shirt and a hoodie like you all the time.
That's my
And
style.
yeah, but I
I'm not
would
gonna
demand
ditch
you
that.
not to. Then you wouldn't be in Factory Road. And then just I would now that's the next step I want to see happen because I think that this race can do it. So it's good to see. I'm excited about it. Kudos to Dave. I know we give him a hard time in here, but I like Dave. He's a nice guy. He's always treated me really well at PNB. And Jacob's
Yeah,
been doing my intros here lately. So all of that footage is from PNB races, I believe. So most of
yeah,
it on the intro. So
yeah.
good stuff, man.
One thing I'm gonna still say is like he really like he clearly understands like the aspect of putting pros up front, because he has like the time table is made so that pros actually have like decent time when they're running. The mains are in the midday, so he clearly understands that, hey, we want to make this like we have to have the pros have like it's a different thing. It's not like
Right.
just racing and like that. It's like the pros.
Hmm.
So like just needs to go all out on that. Like make it sort of like what RCGP is, and then
Yes.
everything else is the Psycho Nitroblast experience. It's not, hey, this is our Psycho Nitroblast race. It's a race, but it's an experience mostly.
Hmm.
That's what I want him to do. And then the pro class is its own thing. It's like a festival type of thing. I want him really to pursue that, because
Well,
that's the only race you can do that in. Like with DNC, it's a race. It's more a race than it's anything else.
hmm
Nitro Blast is like you can go either way.
hmm well, I think people are like, well, why should the pros get special treatment and be in the midday? Because I mean, let's be honest, we can all sit off and go watch
Let
them.
them make them pay more too. Like you can make the pros pay like double
Yeah.
the entry fee or something, and then they get better. Like and you can promote it better. So like you can't make the argument, hey, pros get more, well they pay more, and then you can't make the argument, well then you will have the promotion, all that. Just you can't argue against that either. So you cover all your bases and you actually do good. So I think that's what I would do it.
All right. I can agree with that, buddy. I am excited. We'll get to see it. Are you going to watch it this weekend?
Yeah, I'll watch the mains definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be a decent time for you too. I think it'd be like around this time or
Well, yeah, it's
earlier.
East Coast. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
East Coast. It's not
yeah,
that bad.
yeah. Good stuff, man. You know what? Kudos to Dave. I know
Yeah.
he's listening. He's listening and he's trying to change things. And that's good. That's a good thing. And that this is gonna go into what I want to talk about later on too. So, you know what, Max? We've been on the RC news for a little bit. It's time to pay some bills and go on to the Beach RC Bench Racing Q&A.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Sweet. Thank you, Beach RC. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Lucas. A true brick and mortar hobby shop doing good things. Check them out. Get yourself some NNRC swag. I think he got some. He's getting some here soon. And if you're at PMB, go see Lucas and get yourself some NNRC decals and tag us in that. If you put them on your car, hashtag us and let's see what you're doing. I really appreciate the support. If you want to support them, please use the affiliate link in the written description of this podcast. It helps us out. Show Beach RC some love, shows us some love. So, Max, we don't have a lot of questions. A lot of these were from last week when I posted it, so I didn't do it this week again. And I was gonna have Joseph on, but he didn't. Wasn't able to do it. So you're gonna have to answer for Joseph, because none of these questions are really for Joseph. None of them are really for him. But all right. First off, Benjamin James up there at Coastal RC, really good race caller. He's getting into it. He's thinking about doing a race. So he goes, I've heard you talk about using a different format for qualifying and racing as opposed to what has been commonly used in the States all these years, with some exceptions. What would you recommend, and how do we get a place where we can change? How do we get a place where we change our regular racing formats? Get to a place where we change our regular racing formats to maximize track time. This is you, Max. Real quick. Don't go into an hour explaining formats.
Well, I'd say it's kind of hard to say, but just have a schedule, have like the track time thing at big races. It's mostly about having too many classes and having no schedule. So it's just like tracks going, like races going like everywhere,
And too
and
many
there's like so
entries,
many
to be
classes.
honest.
Yeah, so you gotta limit that if you want to have track time. But I mean, there's two ways to think about this. There's big races, and I really can't see any other system properly working out apart from the RC2 class system. I feel like that's because I've thought about this much on my own. And when the RCG was down, me and Joseph talked about this a lot, if we could improve it or whatever. But that seems to me to be the only like system easy to implement. So you have 3 IFMAR qualies, and then you have the what you call it, like a qualifying race, which decides your uh ending qualifying position. And that's like if you, let's say you qualify 15th, you qualify in the B heat, and then if you win the B heat, you're 11th after qualifying. So like that's how RC2 works. So then if you're at the club race, I've been like thinking about what could be the best system for Finnish club racing, and this is what I came up with today. So let's say you have 20 cars in one class. You have a practice round where you take your 3 top laps, sort of like seeding, and you have 2 of those practice rounds, let's say. Then you sort those into, because if you have 2 rounds, you're gonna seed into a heat which you should belong to. So you're gonna sort those into if you have 20 cars A and B, if you have 30 cars A, B, C heats, those run 3 like races, like sort of like 10 scale like mains. You have 3 races and you pick your 2 best, and like the A is the A, so that goes straight to A. But if you finish last in the A heat, you drop down to the B heat. If you win the B heat, you bump up to the A heat, and then you have mains, C, B, A, like, and then the first guy always bumps up. So you have pretty much like you have the qualifying is only like top 3 laps. So the style. Well, you could do it 2 ways. You can do it so that RC I feel like did it, which is like you run 10 minutes and then you pick your top three best laps, or top 3 consecutive, like the Euro seeding, or most seeding in races are done. And then the rest of the day is just racing. First you race short races for qualifying, and then you race the long race for the mains. So that's like I think that's the best system for club racing, because you get more racing. The length of the day shouldn't change that much. In America, it
Mhm.
might be different because obviously they have only like I think 2 or 3 qualifiers and then the main. So the biggest issue is you will have so many classes. So you will have people running buggy and chuggy and e-buggy at one club race, and for me at least I think that's too much. So cut the classes a bit, or make it
Mhm.
so that runs one class or something like that, so you will have more track time with your vehicle, more race time, and you can do the format I just explained. And in Europe it's already possible, you just need to change the format. But big races, RC2 format in my opinion. And then club races, you do top 3 laps for seeding rounds, which act as qualifying, and then you
Mhm.
do short mains. You can do even 1 main or 2 mains, or how much time you have in a day, and then you do a long main. So you don't have to spend 2 or 3 rounds of 5-minute qualifiers. You just have that 2 rounds of like top 3 consecutive, or even 1 round if you're just club racing, because like club racing is just to have fun and to get out of a race. So
Yeah.
I think those are the best ways to do it. But big
But
races, it's much more difficult.
yeah, I think the only way to get more time is the key things that people when you see we gotta cap it, charge more, and have less
Hmm.
interest. And people
Yeah,
charge more, but you get more runtime. Good
yeah,
question, Benjamin, because Benjamin's trying to figure out a format for his races. He wants to do some
yeah.
10 scale carpet race. All right,
Yeah,
Evan Osborne. Go
if he
ahead. Sorry.
wants like if he wants like to get a good explanation of it, he can just shoot me up a Facebook message. But that's how we've been thinking about a lot of different formats in Finland and how we do it. So,
Sweet.
but yeah,
Shoot him a
that's
message,
that's what
Benjamin.
I found out. Yeah,
Shoot him a
if you're
message.
interested. So
Evan Osborne. When is when is Max Mort's contract up at Associated so he could come back to JQ Racing where he belongs?
uh, I mean, my contract's up this year, but it doesn't mean anything.
I get
I'm
that
at a
question a lot.
2-year
I get that
contract.
question a lot.
Yeah.
Giovanni RC, what's up, G Spec? How you doing, man? With me and G Spec's been talking for a bit here. We're gonna ask this question, but we're gonna answer it in the next segment. What are we collectively looking for in an RC governing body such as ROAR and IFMAR? What kind of support? How much involvement? Do you want to answer
And
that
this
real
is what
quick now?
this is okay.
Nope.
I'm not going to go into this because we're going to discuss this later. But we
Mm-hmm.
have a disagreement, which is
Mm-hmm.
very nuanced and distinctive. But we have a disagreement on this, and it's going to be amazing. But it's like because let's just say it quickly. You think the federation should be involved more?
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be involved less, but they should be like embracing everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I
my
agree with
sort of
that.
thing.
We
Yeah.
haven't argued about this yet. We haven't debated this yet, you and I. So we're gonna save that for the next segment.
Hmm.
Brad Maynard, what's up? This is long time TLR dude. What's up, Brad? Is there a perfect toolbox bag? Yeah, a Reds muffler box and many pockets. That's JQ's. Don't you
Yeah,
hate that when he
JQ.
goes like 2-inch screwdriver
Yeah,
sticking out, a temperature gun, them the old Exogen temperature guns? That's his
but
toolbox, a muffler box, and
I'm gonna
I
be
hate it.
honest. That's the best way to do it. Start a
No, it's
box and
not.
then that red toolbox. Yes, it
No, it's
is.
not. It's
Yes, like
horrible.
I hate those. I hate those pit bags. You carry that
What?
huge pit bag with you, and then there's always like junk in the bottom of it. You
No.
have your starter box. You have your. I mean, my dad does it the way he just has a starter box, glow starter, and tuning screwdriver in the pocket, and then the fuel bottle in his hand.
You know
That's
what?
it.
Some people like myself only have one decent working hand. So when you got all that
Okay.
stuff trying
Yeah.
to hold, and
Well.
you know what?
Yeah.
With one decent working hand, I can only use one side of my pockets. So that's why, so
I haven't
need
thought
a
about
tool
that
bag.
before.
I need a pit. I honestly, the Mugen pit bag, the ProTac pit bag, or even go get one of those Husky pit bags. That's perfect. As for a toolbox, I don't know, man. Are you looking for a toolbox that's light to travel with, or light to races where you drive?
You know
Or
what? I actually really like the Ultimate because I hate plastic toolboxes for one
Mhm.
reason. I have never traveled to America without breaking one of those. Sometimes it's just one and it cracks in a corner, which doesn't really matter. But
Mhm.
last time I went
I remember.
to PMB, both of my Play-Doh boxes just broke,
I
and they
remember.
were like I couldn't even use them anymore. It was like they broke so bad. So that's I freaking hate that. And for I don't know, Europe doesn't do that. American, those guys who throw the bags, those are violent. They have some issues.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but like yeah,
Um,
okay. So I didn't finish my point. So because of that, I hate the plastic ones. So I
mhm.
have the ultimate. It's like a what do you call it? Like a fabric or something, but it's just like
Yep, canvas.
canvas. Yeah, canvas toolbox. I mean, I think other brands make it too, but I have the ultimate one. I'm sponsored by them, so yeah. But I really like that one. So yeah,
I
that's
like it
like
too.
I
It's
had
it's
it. I had it
thick.
before
Mhm.
and I changed to Play-Doh boxes. It was nice for a while, but the first time I opened the OGO bag and there was like hundreds of screws in the bottom of it, I knew like that's the last time I'm doing this.
And actually, the OGO bag is the worst bag to travel on airplanes with because it weighs
Yeah, it's
14 pounds right there. So you're
yeah,
already,
it's pretty heavy. But the
yeah,
thing is like it's so much more heavy duty. So
right. But it's
it's
good
like
for going to the track.
yeah.
It doesn't protect shit because it's all canvas.
Well,
You
it
gotta
it
pack
protects from the bottom. It has like the plastic bottom, which is like the strength of it.
when you
Most
travel with your
like
OGO bag. You normally put your clothes in your OGO bag when you're flying, and I use those
well, I
hard
don't.
case. Well, that's why your
Yeah.
toolboxes break.
Yeah, but
So
I
I
okay.
use
I don't almost use any. I only use like two plastic boxes which I put my part in, and I always like surround them with like all the like towels and stuff
mhm.
I have. So like I have my oils in like a cardboard box. I have my charger in a cardboard box. I have like a lot of my spare parts that are like bigger in a cardboard box. So
Mhm.
like plastic I really freaking hate, but like some of like the smaller stuff you have to use like those
Yeah.
small plastic containers.
I don't know about an actual toolbox. I think the best toolbox I've seen is actually what Mike Walker here has. He has one of those Husky, and it's modular, so you can keep adding different stuff, and it wheels in and fills up all nice. And it's like, man,
Yeah,
when he sets up his pit, it's all set up really nice. But that's that's
I
all
don't really
cool
like
too.
that.
Well,
I like
he
I'm like
a
what do
minimalist.
you call it? Yeah, minimalist.
Yeah,
As
like
little as
David.
you can have. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And that's
David.
what I like about the ultimate thing because it's like you have it, it doesn't weigh much, you don't have much in it, and it's just like simple.
You,
That's why I
it's
like
funny.
it.
David. He goes to me. You know what I have in my apartment? A kitchen table,
Yeah.
2 forks, 2 knives, 2 spoons, 2 cups, 2 plates, 2 bowls, a chair that I found at a construction site, a bed. That's all I have in my apartment. I am a
And the
minimalist.
thing
I
is,
was like,
I think he has a girlfriend too. I'm not
yeah, he
100%
does.
sure
But he
anymore. He
doesn't he
used
doesn't
at
live
least.
he doesn't
Oh,
he
she
lives in a
doesn't.
cabin. Yeah, they live. But I'm saying just you're talking about minimalist, but he also wants
Yeah, yeah.
he has a van, one of those
I know, I know.
yeah, and it's all set up all nice. Yeah.
But the
We're
thing is,
gonna
like,
go see him in
how does
Colorado.
the woman like? Is she a minimalist too? Like, that's what
I don't
I'm
know.
most worried about.
I don't know. But just when you said that, it reminded me of David when he was telling me that story at RCGP. And I was just looking at him like, what? We have like my wife buys chairs that I can't even sit in. Like, don't sit in that chair. We have like 20,000 chairs in my house, and I don't even like people coming to my
Yeah.
house. All right, we got off tangent there. David Bowman. Why one stage idle? Give us science mode. Why 2 or more stage idle is bad? I guess it's talking about Coelho's video with the 2-stage idle.
Well, okay. Imagine this: you full throttle, you lift the
Mm-hmm.
throttle at the end of the straightaway, and it's a tight corner. your engine is first. You have a 2-stage idle. So engine is like when you lift the throttle, it's like wee. And especially after the straight, you're gonna have a bit higher idle because the engine's running a bit lean. So it's gonna be more like wee. And you know what happens then? The clutch starts to catch, and you're gonna have the engine run after the straight. So when you go into the corner, and you have the engine sort of a pushing, so your car will push into the corner, and then the idle will drop, and because your engine is a bit lean, you would have turned the idle very low, so you get the initial idle lower, and eventually when you get the pushing out of it, the second stage kicks in, and the engine flames out. So you will have with 2-stage idle, you will have an engine that will have too high idle initially when you lift the throttle, and too low idle, so it will flame out in the corner. So this is like the more stages you have. I mean, if you have 4 stages in the idle, I don't know how do you even do that? But
No, he said
like if you would
difference
have
between 1 stage and 2 stages. So
yeah, but he said like more than 2 stages, I think.
no, he said
I'd let-
why 2-stage idle is bad.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but that's pretty much it. So imagine like you tune the idle so that it doesn't flame out. It'll run on the track. Then you tune the idle so that it doesn't run on the track, and it'll flame out. So one
That's
stage
one of
of
my
idle.
pet peeves.
Yeah.
I hate
And
that.
I remember some people tune their engines purposefully so that it has a 2-stage idle. This is something I cannot understand.
I hate running. I cannot drive a car like that, man.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. So pretty much it's just like every time you lift the throttle, you want the car to return to idle.
Yes,
And you don't want
of
the idle to
course.
change up or down. And that's why you don't want 2-stage idle.
I don't know. Josh Garbett of Scale Racing Sports. He's doing the Blue Ridge Nationals and the Summer Sizzler and I don't know the name of the other race, but it's going to be at Clemson here in the East Coast. Lefty, thanks for the mention and the event plug. Of course, I'll do that. And an attempt to, this is the guy who asked about pills the last time he was on her. Last time we had you on her. And he goes, an attempt to answer my question on pills and anti-squat geometry. I did go and view Max's video, and it was extremely helpful and answered all my questions. Thank you, Max.
Thank God. I thought it was gonna be like I didn't get the answer. It sucked.
You got a good compliment this week too. One guy called you the most mature 20-year-old he's ever met. I said you haven't hung around him for a little bit.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I'm sort of the type of person, so I sort of adjust to the atmosphere. So if you're around me, like fooling around, I'll be like the most like I'll be fooling around more than you. But if you're like proper and like you have your legs crossed and whatever, like 5 person, I can like. So I sort of I don't know. I don't do this purposefully, but I do it like as just instinct. I sort of like act around what the vibe of the room is.
Oh, I noticed.
So that differs. So, but yeah,
like
most of the
time, my skin when we're around each other.
Yeah, I kind of had to tone that down when you were beating that Vandor.
Oh, that night you really pissed me off. I was like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. All right. Neil White, he's a New Zealander, I believe, because he asked, who is the most famous New Zealander, period. I don't know if he means an RC, but I don't know. Maybe it's that dude. He's like a multi-time V8 supercar champion. He races RC and he's won like the New Zealand Nationals a few times. I don't know his name. The Thylacine, Aaron Dexter was telling me about him.
Do the Kiwis race in Australia or do they just race in New Zealand? I don't know.
I don't think they get to Australia much. I think the Australians go up to them and race a good bit. So
yeah, but the thing is, Australia is so fucking huge. So most of the time they're flying anyway. So like imagine like I think like Dexter lives in Perth and like most of the other guys lives in I don't know. I think they live in the other side, which is like I don't think I think everyone lives in the south. I'm so out of my depth here.
Yeah,
it's a long way apart. Yeah, it's a long way apart.
He's asking who's the most famous New Zealander, period. I don't know. Maybe the guy who won the America's Cup in Bermuda in 2017. Or I don't know his name. It's a sailing regatta. It was in Bermuda.
New Zealand did good with COVID. They
freaking
defeated that shit like in 1 month. And now like their prime minister is like what did she do? She like raised like the minimum wage. She decreased her own salary. Looks like they're doing pretty good. So shout
Yeah.
out to New Zealand.
I think we answered who's the most famous New Zealand RC racer. I don't know. I don't know too many. Mark
That's our
Johnson.
answer. Yeah, I know. I only know Mark Johnson and his friend. Can't remember
Yeah.
the other one's name.
What? Oh, why are glow plugs so damn expensive? Because they're small.
It's not that expensive. It's $10.
You know how much a regular spark plug costs? But then again, there's billions of them. And
Yeah, like you like that. Like doing a regular spark plug, it's just like a piece of metal on another piece of metal. Like RC spark plugs are like super tiny and
exactly.
it's like very fine. So yeah. And the thing is like those real car spark plugs, they make like hundreds of millions of them a year probably.
Exactly. And you know what? Like Mike Hill said once, he goes, the smaller you go, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah,
So,
obviously.
all right.
Because they're machine too.
All right. So we have, and we're getting onto some IG questions here. And he goes, I have a question. It says T Melt 17. I have a question for the podcast. At what point can a racer that's past his prime drop down a class without being called a sandbagger? For example, someone that moved up through the ranks but never made pro on a national level, but now has trouble making the B or C main at large events in the intermediate. Can they drop to sportsman without being a sandbagger? I don't know.
I put it this way: if you win sportsman twice in a row, you move up to intermediate. No matter how long you've driven.
Right, but this is opposite. He was like they were running
Yeah,
pro.
I mean,
get no
let's
go
say
40 plus.
run.
That's what 40
Yeah, but
plus
like
is for.
yeah, that's that too. But like, let's say you run intermediate, and then you see like I kind of suck, and I don't want to put the time or whatever. You move
Mhm.
down to sportsman. If you finish at the bottom of the A main, well, whatever. Like you're just one of the guys there. Then you're a sportsman. But
Mhm.
if you like finish top 3 without practice, and if you like sort of dominate and stuff, then I don't think it's that fair. But
Yeah.
like,
I
but
don't
if
know,
you
man.
finish like, yeah, to
Look at
me
Greg.
though. Yeah, and
Greg,
he's still running pro. He never
he
runs
runs
anything
pro.
but pro.
He runs
Yeah,
pro
and
and 40 plus. So
yeah,
and he's not a pro.
to
He's
me,
not.
this is such an like this shouldn't be an issue. There shouldn't be more than 2 classes really. There should be
Right, but
pro
okay,
and then
we're
everyone
never gonna
else.
fix that. We're never gonna fix that.
Well, I gotta say it every time anyone
I know
asks
you
about
do.
this.
I
Yeah,
know.
but
I don't
like
know when. I don't
this
know when
shouldn't
it's
be an issue.
acceptable. Honestly, I
to
don't
me,
know
it's
when it's acceptable.
it's if you consider yourself a sportsman and you don't dominate the class and you feel like the people around you are your speed, like put it this way, you want to race with people who are your speed. So
Mhm.
if you're racing people who are much slower or much faster, then change classes. If you like what you're doing right now, then I don't give a shit. But if you feel like the guys around you put more effort into it and they have like better equipment or more practice, and you want to just hang out and run like sportsmen, because the sportsman guys are much chiller. They're like, even some people in the intermediate, they want to be a pro one day. In the
Mhm.
sportsman, most people are like, hey, I'm just coming here to drink beer and have fun. So
Well,
if
that's
you're
more
like
like
that,
40 plus, to be honest. But
yeah, I
because them
thought
sportsman
sportsman was
guys
like
take
that.
it serious too, man. You know, that's just
That
my stepping
sucks.
stone.
I think there should be a rule that if you take it too serious, you're banned from sportsman.
I don't know about that. I think what it sounds like is somebody is probably was running the pro class, or I don't know who is talking about. Maybe this is an
But I
incident.
think he said he never ran the pro.
No, but not. He said,
I
all
think
right.
I understood it so that he never ran the pro
He
class.
says,
Even.
for example, someone that moved up through the ranks but never made pro on a national level. What he's talking about is like,
Oh, okay, yeah,
like you know, like it's a difference, man. Look, pro intermediate at PMB is different from intermediate at DNC and sportsman too and stuff like
yeah.
that. So I don't know, man. You know, I get it. If you're in the pro, like if you're in the pro main at PMB, you're bringing up the rear to C main. Yeah, you probably thinking about dropping down to intermediate so you can get at least make a final and get more track time or whatever and a trophy. But you know, you're gonna
Yeah, the
kind of have to take.
trophy, no trophy. Track time I can accept, but trophies.
Well, they want trophies too. You're just gonna have to take take shit for a little bit, like you know what I mean, and drop down
No,
and
I
do
mean,
what makes you happy. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
do
that's the
what makes you
thing. Like,
happy.
if you are running RC for the fun of it and not
Mhm.
to win, then move down. But if you're
Yeah.
running RC only to win, don't move down, because that's not. If you want to win and you have to move down to win,
Hmm.
I don't think that's like that's just like, hey, I'm not that good, so I'm just make the competition worse. No, you make yourself better. So if you want to
Right,
have
but
fun and race with people who are your level and you
then
feel
drop
like
down.
those guys are in sportsmen, then definitely do it. Like,
Yeah.
to me, what I would do if you race more, you see guys, because there's most of these guys go to a lot of these races. So you see guys, hey, that guy is pretty same speed as me, and then you just run whatever class those guys run. So you just like match the people you race with
Yeah.
often, and you get friends with them, even though you race them on the track. But you get friends with them, you get to know these people, and you
Hmm.
like. I remember like Degani and Ciccarello had like a
Yeah.
amazing battle in 40 plus, and that's what every class needs. Like, hey,
Yes.
those are those guys who always run sportsman or always runs intermediate. They're like they're older guys, or they're just guys who want to do this for fun. They don't have any like I want to be a pro goal. So they just, like, pick those spots where you feel like you're best suited. But if you're like, I'm not winning enough, I need to win more and move
Hmm.
down to sportsman, that's not the attitude
Yeah.
those guys down there want to have, and those guys above you would like you to have, you know?
Just know you're gonna take some shit though. So if you don't care about that, drop
Yeah.
down and do
But
it
just say I want to
and
have
have
fun.
fun.
If
Yeah.
you're yeah, if your attitude is right, people around you will recognize eventually.
Hmm. All right. Great question. Jacob
People aren't
Burrett.
that dumb in the end.
Jacob Burrett. I think that's how you say it. He asked, hold on, I lost it. Hey, I was wondering if you could explain why you shave tires down or sand tires down for 10 scale clay racing. I was explaining this to a buddy of mine, and he's convinced that this would hurt the car's performance instead of helping it. Well, you shave it down because it's like the best way to have a tire between a slick and ghost
Mhm.
threads, pretty
Yeah,
much.
so one reason, if you shave it down completely, I there's pretty much no reason to do that. But unless it's like a high grip track and you would run slicks anyway, apart from the fact that if you shave down threaded tire to down to slicks, it will be lighter than a proper slicks. That's like the only reason to shave it down completely slicks. But if
Mhm.
you meaning like scrubbing it in, most of the reason is a lot of these tires are very stiff out of the box. So let's say you have
Mhm.
a super soft tire. For the first few laps, it's gonna be little bit stiffer. Like the pins are not gonna be moving around as much, and the tire, like the contour of the tire, will be a bit stiffer. So mm, I'd say the scrubbing is just to get away from that
No,
stiffness if you scrub it in.
I think he's talking
But
about ghost tread. When you sand it
ghost
down to,
thread,
yeah, where you just have that tread, but it's not a slick, but it's in between the slick. Like it's just where you can
okay.
see that thread.
Yeah.
That tread,
Well,
sorry.
then that then is pretty much just like the track is a bit dusty, but the
Mhm.
line is clean. So you will have more grip with a tire that has more surface area. So because if you think about treaded tires and there's no
Mhm.
dust, you will just have less contact
Mhm.
patch.
And the
The
pins would fold too and
Yeah,
catch and
yeah,
all
and the
that
thing
stuff.
is, if you have dust, you need pins so that the
Mhm.
dust would get in between the pins. But if you don't have dust, you don't need the pins. You will just need as much surface area as possible.
Mhm.
So if you have a track that has a very clean line, but sort of dust in some spots, with slick, you will just lose grip completely in the dusty areas. But with like that ghost thread thing, you will have some grip in the dust, enough to just get it back onto the line. But on the line, you will have pretty much a slick tire. So that's like that. But there's a lot of things, like the initial scrubbing is just to get the tire a bit softer, because almost every tire, especially 10 scale tires, are very stiff to begin with. You need to sort of like break it in,
Mm. Okay. All right.
because there's also the clay compound is a thing as well. Like
Mhm.
those clay tires are pretty like stiff. So
Yeah.
you will need
But
to
some
break
sauce
them in.
and some sauce. Some
Yeah,
Papa Willie's
yeah,
traction sauce.
I hate tire sauce. You can buy the Papa Willys, but please don't buy anything else. You can buy this to support the show, put it on yourself, and say to yourself, I will never use traction.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's how
tire sauce.
that's what you smell when you go into OCRC. It's
like the smell, like everyone's pit table is full of that oily stuff. Come on, that's
well,
that's not
it's
off
part of
road.
racing,
That's
man.
ridiculous.
Part of racing. But if you're gonna use tire sauce, you should go to www.papawillies.net and use promo code NNRC in all caps to save 10% off your order.
Don't they make drag racing stuff too?
They make like a tire cleaner. They're using the same stuff. Mostly they come from Dirt Oval. I'm actually going to get Scooter on her next week because I want to pick his brain about Oval anyway. But it's like a cleaner, I guess, that they use, but it also leaves like a grip, some sort of grip. But all right. Last question, and then we're gonna go on to the SCRC. We're gonna go into our little debate. So this guy wants to stay anonymous, and this was for JQ, but I'm gonna ask you because you suffer from this, and this is you. I don't know if you're the right guy to talk about this because you have really, really piss poor fuel mileage. But he says, why are some racers saying they're getting more runtime if a different brand of fuel that has the same oil and nitro percent? I really don't think it's true since they said their runtime went from 8 to 9 minutes to 11 or 12 or more. But I would like a logical explanation.
Well, if it has the same nitro percent, well, obviously all of those fuels, if you have 25, you have 25. Nitro percentage stays the same. Then the oil percentage, if it is the same, the only difference then is how much of that oil is synthetic and how much is like natural oil. So that's one thing. And then like if you have, what oil is it? So if it's synthetic or natural or whatever it is it good quality? Because there could be fuels that they don't use the high end oils. They just use some oil they can get. They don't use the really high end stuff. And the high end fuels use the high end oils. So
and they will have your difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in fuel, and like better oil in the fuel or like the right oil in the fuel, and that will make a difference in both runtime and in the engine lifetime. So the fuel definitely makes a difference, and even if you even have the same amount of oil and same amount of nitro in it, the just the brand of the oil the manufacturer uses can really affect it, and the quality of the oil they use can really affect it.
Yeah, and these manufacturers have their blends, and their secrets.
Yeah, and they try a lot of stuff too. And the thing is though, like usually how it goes, if you pay more for fuel, you get better fuel. Because most of these fuels are developed in like chemical factories, and this is just like extra things. It's not like there's a RC car fuel like factory. No, there's chemical factories, and the RC fuel is just like, hey, you guys want to do this when we are not here, sort of that kind of stuff.
Right. But if you're going to, you know what, I got to plug again. If you're going to get some fuel, you should try out TNR Fuels, www.tnrfuels.com. They are a sponsor of the podcast, and people are really, I'm hearing nothing but positive things about it. Longevity of engines, runtime, all that stuff. See, Chris started developing this, I believe, in the on-road scene when he's running on-road. And
yeah, those guys are definitely much more. Those guys are really, really like precise. They want to have it just right.
But they need it because they need to get that, like that runtime and power. My buddy here.
The power is the bigger deal in my opinion. Like these guys care so much. Like I remember when I was running Reds and they were developing that like on-road engines as well. Like he was like I think Marco he was complaining like these on-road guys like our engine, this new version went 2 kilometers an hour slower down the straight, and these guys like this is so slow, like 2 kilometers an hour.
I mean,
it
counts though. It counts.
Yeah, but
but my buddy here made his own fuel in search of getting a 7-minute qualifier of and having the same fuel. So it's all good, man. I definitely think fuel makes a difference, man. It definitely makes a difference, and you're gonna run shitty fuel. It doesn't. It's not.
But the thing is, after all, most of it is driving style and tuning.
That too.
So
it's a whole package. Don't get it wrong. It's not like you just.
But I mean, it's not. It's like I could like the issue I have is I drive a lot in the mid range, which is the worst possible thing for these engines. Like
Mm.
because what JQ does is he's like almost no throttle at all, so he rolls the car around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I drive a lot in the mid range, and then there's some
Mm.
people who lean the engine out. Like there's one guy, Ari Heidon in Finland. He leaves the engine out crazy, and he just like taps the throttle just a little bit everywhere he goes. He's like
Mm.
everywhere he goes, he's like tapping the throttle, like feathering it. It's and he gets like crazy mileage.
Yeah,
And then
and
there's
it's
some
lean,
people like
so it's
yeah,
using
yeah,
less fuel.
and then there's some people who just somehow get it right so
Yep.
that they know, like they either it's by luck or they actually have tried it and know. I haven't really come to a conclusion which one it is, but they just have a driving style where they go in the range
Mm-hmm.
where the engine is used the least amount of fuel. I've like because the thing is like there's people that are more punched than me that have better mileage because they are like not driving in the mid range. They are rolling the car or punched, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
always in the mid
So
range
you're
and like
always on the
it.
fuel. You're always on the gas at some
Yeah,
point.
that's the issue. Like I'm a lot of on the gas, and I'm not like leaning the engine out as much as a lot of people do. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
we gotta
my
fix that, man.
issue.
You've been having this issues for a long time, and we gotta. I don't know.
Yeah, but like last summer, I kind of figured it out. I could do like the 730. So
That's what
it's
you
not.
can't even do 730.
Yeah, but like a lot of people can't in Finland. The tracks are pretty fast there. So,
Um.
but yeah, I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. The biggest issue at RCGP was that I had like my dad wasn't there. So even though like the mechanics I had were like good, but like with my dad, it's so easy. Like he knows how I need the engine, so I don't
That's
have to
true
say,
too.
"Hey, I feel this." So he just knows, like, okay, we're gonna do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it like the mechanic communication. And well, in America it worked pretty well because me and Michael were pitting
Mhm.
before, so we kind of knew each other already.
Well, I gotta bring up Drake because he seems to be the master of getting long run time and the Testmans when they were on an OS. So let's see how it works
Yeah,
with
well,
FX.
what Drake does that lean it out and feather it thing. I think Testmans are just like they iron out everything, so
Yeah, yeah.
they are like
Well,
they the
I think Drake does that too, and he's very meticulous about his setup, bearing
yeah.
all
But
that stuff.
I've listened to his engines, and sometimes when he runs long pit stops, it sounds awful. He just
Mm,
leans it out until he can get that like fuel mileage.
well, it is driving style too. So, but
Yeah.
you know what? That's all the questions we have for this week, Max. We've been going for 2 hours here. We thank you to everybody that sent in questions. We greatly appreciate it. We're posting this up next week. It's time for us. Oh, and thank you to Beach RC. Remember, people, go show them some love. Show us the podcast some love. Use the affiliate link. It helps us out. Go see Lucas at PNB this week. Get yourself buy some stuff from Beach RC. Get yourself some NNRC stickers and tag us in that post. Max, you know what time it is?
The debate.
It's time to go on to the Sun City RC Raceway down and quiet debate that we're going to have.
Sun City RC Raceway, the home of El Paso's world-famous motocross-inspired 8-scale off-road track. The Showers family has over 20 years' experience creating one of the premier tracks in the USA. Their world-class facility has everything: handicap accessibility, covered beds, skate starts, space for parking RVs, trailers, and lights for night racing. Follow SCRC on Facebook under Sun City RC Raceway for updates, upcoming races, or host your own race.
Thank you to SCRC and the Showers family, Joey, Christian, and Corbin, for their support of the podcast. They have been longtime supporters. We've been to their track. I've had a blast. If you're in the El Paso area, go check them out. One of the best facilities in Texas. Show them some love. And thank you for the support, guys. I greatly appreciate it. So this week on the Sun City SCRC Dawn and Quiet. Okay, I want to start
You
this out a
changed
little
your
different.
hat.
Yeah, I did. I put on my Sun City RC hat. So yeah, wardrobe change, man. Wardrobe change during the break.
Wow, this is a professional show.
Somewhat professional.
Yeah.
So all right. So I've been thinking for a while. I want to tell you what I've been thinking before we get into our debate. We're also not going to try to make this too long because I can see you're getting tired. It's late there in Finland.
Yeah.
So Wally made a post this week, and we're going to talk about that. because it's got people talking. He seems to get people talking a lot lately. That's good. But so I've been thinking a few weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I ranted at Joseph and I said, we need to eliminate ROAR, forget ROAR. They're not doing anything. They don't want to change. Let's get another federation in there. And Joseph's like, no, that's not the way. We need to use them because they have the money, they have, and all that stuff. And they're part of IFMAR. And I said, no, just get rid of them, blah, 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 blah. Because I was just, just in that mood. And I just thought that was the answer. So fast forward about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, my buddy Geoff made a post about ROAR. And I came on there and then Rick Howard said something. He says, join ROAR and then you can make a change. And I said, if I was American, I'd join ROAR and run for president or run for regional. And if that didn't work, I would then just go make my own federation, right? But anyway, so I've been thinking about this for a while, talking to some people, going on ROAR's website, because, I am going to the nationals here. So ROAR actually does this apparently diplomatically. So you can vote to your individual regions who you want to represent.
Democratically.
But it's diplomatic, like diplomatic.
Diplomatic is like talking to your war enemy and trying to resolve peace.
Sorry.
Democratic.
I don't do
you vote
politics.
for the people you want in. Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
So apparently you can vote, and I've seen people running for different regions and whatnot. So what I'm hearing is that, the regions are split up into even and odd numbers. So in next year, it's going to be the even numbers. Now that's like the Carolinas, the California area, like their website's not that good. It's not that good. So you should actually have the number of region numbers on the map instead of or a color key. So you have to click on it and all that stuff. So
their website is awful.
So I went looking through this. I don't know how up to date their website is, and I just wanted to see who was in what regions and whatnot. I did recognize one guy. His name Joe D'Angelo. He's an offer guy. He's down in like Mitch, Louisiana, Mississippi, that area, I believe. And he's an offer guy. He recently got in there, and then I started looking. Some regions don't have reps. And then most of these regions are run by on-road guys, it looks like. I believe even the president of IFMAR is an on-road guy from America, Jeff Parker. So I'm saying to myself, how does the biggest class and bringing in the most money in RC racing, which is off-road, when I say off-road, I mean 10 scale, 8 scale, electric nitro, truggy, all these classes.
I'd argue 8-scale off-road brings the most money in.
All right, but we're not getting into that. We're just going to talk about off-road right now, right? Off-road is obviously the biggest class in RC racing. It is.
Especially in America.
Yeah, it's
in Europe. In Europe, it's debatable, but
I don't think so.
In America,
it's not as big as. It's not as
well. Okay, let's say Asia is debatable. In Europe, like ETS were huge, but okay, go on.
We're huge.
That's besides the point.
We're huge. On-roads.
They're still big.
Yes, it's
that's
probably
big, but
on-road is bigger in Europe than it is in America. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Right, so
but that's
we can
the
admit
point
that
anyway. Yeah.
Right. So I was looking, and a lot of these regions are run by on-road guys. So I'm like, well, how the hell does the biggest and look, the run that's sold in 5 minutes. That's like I don't even know how much money they made off that, right? I can't.
But you know what?
No.
But you know what? Like I think the EFRA dude, he's another guy too. Pretty much everyone who's running EFRA, apart from Carlos, is like as far as I know, like on road. Right. And America seems like the same thing.
You're seeing
because on road guys are more like meticulous, and nitro guys are just like, and off road guys are like, hey, whatever.
Well, what it is that typical someone would say to you, why should I join ROAR? What did they give me? So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been thinking we need to fix ROAR. And the way we fix ROAR, like I know we're going to argue about something else, but the way we fix ROAR is simple. It's really simple. Go out and join ROAR. Pay your $35 for your membership. Join ROAR. We need every person in America that's running off-road cars to join ROAR. People say, well, what does it give me? Well, I know like if you looked at the list for the ROAR Nats, there's so many people that don't have ROAR licenses, so they got to apply for one now. They just got an influx of licenses in there. Well, let's make these licenses count and let's put some more in there. You know why? Because the only way we're going to change ROAR, and you can't do it, one person can't do it, but a collective group that's thinking in the same way for change. And what if we can get if we can get people, so we know the evens are going to be even number regions are up for election next year. We need to get as many off-road guys running in these regions as reps. We need to get all the off-road people in these regions, all these regions signing up for ROAR so they have a vote, right? And then we need to vote these people into these positions in these regions, right? That want change, that want to do things differently. And that way, there are a few people in ROAR that want to do things differently. And that way, you can go in there and it's not difficult, because when you're just one voice, it's easy to get drowned out. When you're a collective group, you can make change, but that can't happen until people go out there and join ROAR. So my appeal is to every single person in America that loves RC racing, off-road racing. I know you're probably thinking, why should I join ROAR? Fuck ROAR, like they don't give me nothing, but they do give you insurance, I believe. You get the nationals and you could go to the worlds. But we aren't going to change ROAR until we get more forward-thinking people from off-road in there, and the people in off-road who spending the most money, because we got the biggest class. If you don't voice your opinion by voting, we can't change ROAR. So this is my campaign from here on. Join ROAR. Let's vote people into positions in 2022 that we can effectively make change in ROAR. And why I say that? Because if we do that, then we can affect IFMAR and EFRA at the same time. Because America is the biggest market. They have 30 to 40 spots to go to every worlds. The off-road worlds is the biggest thing for IFMAR. The off-road Nats is the biggest thing for ROAR. You can make change when a collective group goes in there and does things positively and changes things around. And I think there's a lot of things that I think we should do. We should be working with these current race promoters to set people like, oh, what? Like, I think we should work with, this is how I think ROAR could work with these race promoters. Hey, Dave, you're getting 300, 400 people coming to this race. Let's try and promote them signing up for ROAR. What's ROAR going to give them? They gives them some insurance. But what will we do? We always complain that these races don't have referees and proper officials. Well, if you become a ROAR sanctioned event, we'll send officials there to be referees. If you want to do tech, stuff like that, that's their job. Their job's not to do RD work. You don't have to pay them nothing. They'll come there from the membership fees. So you got to, let's say we send 3 guys. 3 guys there. 1 ref up on the stand, 1 ref in the booth, and then the other ref can be floating around or taking a break, or send 4 people. So you have 3 people working, 1 person taking a break. That way, people can see ROAR's actually doing something. People learn how to race properly because you have somebody there who isn't scared to hold up the rules. You get insurance. You're working with current promoters. You're not asking them for extra money. You're just asking for people to become ROAR members. That's how ROAR goes forward. That's how ROAR changes RC. And that's how it changes IFMAR and all that stuff. But it first starts with all of us. Not me. I'm not American. I can't do it. All of my American racers out there, every person in America that listens to this podcast, join ROAR. You want to make change? Join ROAR and let's change it next year.
Yeah, but okay. So I don't disagree with almost anything apart from like the whole Dave thing, like joining Dave, whatever. But the general idea for this is like get people in ROAR, in position in ROAR that actually want change.
Yes.
The issue with this is a long-term plan. This is a plan that to make like the first change to happen will be 5 years from now.
No, the first change can happen next year, Max.
No, it can't. Because
yes, it can. You change by getting people in power there.
No, how many regions are there?
I don't have the map up, but there's a good bit.
Yeah, okay. Let's say like there's 20 regions.
No, it's not that
so
much.
Next year, okay, so let's whatever. But next year there's gonna be half of the regions up to vote.
Mm-hmm.
If all of those regions you get an off-road guy in there who likes the ideas we support here, you only have the half. You don't have you only have half of the guys.
It's more than what we have now.
Yeah, but like okay, so in year 2022, you will not get anything through yet because only you have the half. You can't get. It's a start. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. So next year in 2022, you will have half of the votes. In 2023, you will get the next half. Okay, so 2023, we're in position where we can start make shit happen. So in 2023, they vote about stuff. There's so many people that it takes a bit more time. So the first thing we're gonna see will be in 2024, and that's gonna be small stuff. It's not gonna be immediately. Hey, we're gonna support Dave. So the
It
this
can
if
be.
you
It can be next year.
no, but
It
like
can
the
be
thing
next
is,
year. Yes, it can.
but the thing is, Javier is a fucking guy who wants to do change. How has
Mhm.
that worked out for him?
Because there's
He
nobody.
made a
Because
logo
he's
in Woodyear,
right, but
but the thing is,
it's because you're being suffocated by the old guard. This is the whole point. We need to get this old guard out
yeah,
and
but
get
it takes
new
time.
people in.
You can
Yes.
get the old guard out, but that will take 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, but you right now at Roar, there's regions sitting out there that don't have reps.
Yeah, but I mean, it
So right
no matter
now,
what you do, you will have the first big changes in 3 to 5 years.
big
You
changes,
can't
but the
argue
little
against.
change, but the
Yeah,
little
like you
changes can
can't
start.
argue against. Yeah, but the little changes doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if we get a new logo. It
No,
matters
that
when we
doesn't matter.
actually get the race series and stuff. So in next 3 years, if we get reps in, we can get a new logo. Nice. But after 3 to 5 years, that's the time you will see actual change. So doing this, it's good. It's a long term plan. It will probably work long term. But if we want to change RC like in the next 3 years, this is not the way to do it.
No,
This
this
is
is
a
I'm
way
not.
to do it long term. You
I
know?
I believe we need governing bodies. I believe that's
Yeah,
why
yeah. But the thing, yeah,
I enjoy European
but
racing because they have structure. They do things
yeah,
away.
but that's not the
And
point.
no, but
That's
let me
beside
hold
the
off.
point.
If we got if you got say 5 new offered members in Raw next year, right? You can
Mhm.
immediately affect change by sending when you see you're used to this because you go to races that have this. Most American races aren't used to this until they go to the nationals or go to the worlds. Imagine if PNB next year had or DNC PNB had raw officials there to be referees and call stop and goes and do tech and stuff. What if they sent a crew like if okay, well it probably wouldn't happen next year, but after they vote, all right, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen next year.
Yeah.
But after you get these people get into vote, and you talk to these promoters, say, look, let's become raw sanctioned events. Let's get people and people have to join. You know what I mean? This gives you extra insurance. Hey, you're having a big race, DNC. Raw is gonna send officials there to help you out. You know why Joe is gonna say yes? Because he's not gonna have to pay those guys to do that. You know what I mean? He's not gonna have to
Yeah,
pay
but
3
yeah,
guys
and
to be a
exactly.
referee.
And that's good. But that's gonna happen at earliest in 2023. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
no, if your plan works perfectly, that's 2 years away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only like that's baby steps. And then when you want to have a professional series or something what RCGP is with roar involved, that's at least 3 to 5 years from now if your plan works perfectly
Right.
down to a T. That's 3 to 5 years ago. So I don't disagree with your plan per
Mm-hmm.
se, but that's a long term plan. That's
Mm-hmm.
not a plan that we bring fresh ideas to the forefront. That's the plan we make sure these ideas get there at some point.
Okay.
So my issue with the whole post was uh, people sort of have this idea that EFRA is responsible for changing RC or ROAR is responsible for changing RC. No, these guys have had their chance and they fucking blew it. They blew it for the past 20, maybe 40 years. I
40
mean, the
years.
start of RC, yeah. Like they have never
No, they
did
started
anything
RC. They started
differently.
RC.
They started RC, but after that, what have they done really? They
Yeah,
haven't
well,
promoted it.
heritage.
The only
Heritage, man.
Yeah, they have done heritage. Nice. Cool story, bro. So the thing is, the thing is, my whole point is, if you want to have heritage, you can only have that with a federation, and that's why we need it. That's why
Mm-hmm.
JQ argued for against you, like get rid of war
Mm-hmm.
argument, because you can't get rid of them because they have power, they have their like value.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have that in there. We can't like be like, okay, let's go away from them. We have to be okay. These guys are here to stay, but we need to sort of change our mindset. We're like, hey, we need to roar needs to change RC. No, like if you think about it, would you trust the United States government to change United States? No, you trust the people who think differently, who have ideas that could change your sport to better, and then those are the forces driving it forwards. And then the federation is like, okay, we can work around this, we can have this there. So the federations are doing their job. They're having rules, they have guys that are very stable, they don't have anything crazy going on. Like, let's say, like, you imagine like Joey hosted or Dave hosted the Roar Nationals, the rules would change every year. That's why you need Roar. But if you want to promote a race, if you want to have a great experience, you need something like RCGP.
I agree with that point.
What? Yeah. So you need the promotion and the federation needs to be separated. AMA is not promoting Supercross. FIA is not
officials, don't they?
Yeah, but that's
They
the thing.
provide rules
They don't
and stuff.
Yeah, and that's my whole point.
Okay.
So we need those guys there to do those rules and stuff. And we don't need to change Roar to do that. Roar can be exactly the same. We just need to make promotion and then say, hey, Roar, show up here. Like, hey guys, you want to come here?
Well,
This is a big race. You know, that's
I
what you
think-
do. You don't do shit like, hey, Roar, please can you change this? Hey, Efra, please can you change this? I know you tried this for the past 10 years and you really, really tried hard. And last year you came up with a new logo. Nice. You did a you did a good job. You tied your shoelaces. You're a big boy now. No, you say, okay, guys, you do your shit good. You do the rules. You do the officials. You do all that shit. We do the promotion. We know how to do it. RCGP is a promotion company like Feld is for
yes.
Supercross
AMA,
or
yes.
like yeah, and F1 has their own promoter, Liberty or something, Liberty Media or something, and
Right.
they have their promoter. They make the they pay the companies to make the TV production. They pay people that make it more valuable. They say, hey, you Mercedes, you want to run this series. FIA doesn't talk to Mercedes. Hey, you want to run series? It's Liberty Media. They say, hey, you guys, I want you guys in. You want this? We want you in. You guys want to be in because you get more money, because you win, you get sponsors, whatever. Like FIA goes there, says, hey, this is the rules. You follow these rules. We're good. And the promoter does everything else. You don't.
Yeah,
We don't.
I'm cool with that. I'm fine
Yeah,
with that.
but the thing is, but that your plan is never gonna work with like that's like you're never gonna get change inside the federation. Like imagine trying to get change with a 50 people crowd trying to vote change. You're never gonna get anything like revolutionary new. You need a force that is different, that is strong, that is something like RCGP or what hopefully what Joy is doing next year. And then you say to Roar,
Roar
hey,
joins
we
them.
want stability. Yeah, we want stability. We want you in this. RCGP did this. I know this for a fact. They,
Yes, they tried
called
to get
EFRA.
Efra.
They
Yep.
called IFMAR. Both said no. We don't want to do anything new.
Exactly.
Those if someone gives them shit for free, they don't want to accept it. How do you imagine they will ever try to do that themselves? This is my
Well,
whole point. Like we
you
need
know
to
what?
get out of the idea that federations are gonna do shit. They will never do shit. We will need to do shit with companies like RCGP or the Dirt with Joey. We need to force those companies to do shit that we want to see so that they can make more money. We can get more off of that. Like we get more pleasure because we have RC. And then those federations step in and say, hey, we can have the rules, we can do that insurance stuff. Do you guys like that? And then we're like, yeah, of course, come in. And then we
Yeah.
have a huge club and we're in there. It's not going to be the other way around where the like Roar is like, hey guys, you want to have races and make more money? Never worked that way. Never
No.
worked.
I don't. I get your point.
Yeah.
I think the federations should use money to help promote RC. Some of the membership should go towards
Yeah.
that, but they should work
But
in. I think we should all work. And you just said it right there. I know that RCGP approach EFRA, they approach IFMAR, and we don't do black races. You know, that's EFRA's.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't support black races. Well, those governing bodies actually have some
make them not.
They have more
Yeah,
say than what Raw does. Let's put it that way. Raw is non-existent. We need to fix Raw.
This black racist thing, like you can be the one to say, hey, this race is actually black race anymore, we support this. You have to say like these are black races. Well, you are the one who says if race is a black race or not. You are the one who decides that, so you can change your fucking mind.
Yes,
Like you have the ability to do it. Like that's the whole issue here.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. We agree with each other. We're not having a debate here. We actually agree with each other, but we're just looking at things differently. My point is, you're looking at actual organizations like AFRA, like as much as we piss and moan, they actually do something. You know what I mean? They actually do.
But the thing is, okay, I think.
But
go ahead.
No, but
okay.
So I'll go because I just wanted to go because you don't understand how non-existent ROAR is. I mean, you have a Swedish you have a Finnish association that reports to AFRA. Each country somewhat. You have some organization there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Finnish is bad, but other countries have good ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only damn thing that counts ROAR is that damn nationals, because that's the money maker, right? But here's the thing, and people's like, well, that's the only time you want to get a, but no, ROAR can offer more. It can offer insurance. It can offer like I wanted to, like people, what does it give me? Well, it gives, if we all join ROAR, and we have to fix ROAR. Like ROAR is in such a bad state compared to those organizations, right? So that's why I say we have to fix it. And my thinking is, I want ROAR to work with these promoters. And these promoters encourage people to become members, and when they don't need to pay. ROAR sends these people to help them out, you know. And then ROAR could take some of this money and help out tracks that maybe this track needs wheelchair access. Let's help them out. Like this dude, he had a GoFundMe. He was at a track, turn marshalling, I don't know, in Georgia somewhere, hitting his mouth, knocked all his teeth out, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right, awful. So this guy's trying to get a GoFund for this. Well, ROAR, if that place had ROAR insurance and everybody there had a ROAR membership, ROAR could help get that guy's teeth fixed. Look at this kid, that we did the fundraiser for her the other day, Yannick. ROAR can do fundraisers like that to raise so much more money to help out racers and treat everybody good, but they don't want to do nothing. They just want to collect their money from these nationals, from 10 scale nationals and 8 scale nationals, and say. And then I understand ROAR. Nobody wants to get involved. Well, we need to get involved, and you need to make your voices speak by saying who you want in those regions. And until you do that, nothing's going to change. And ROAR and AFRA and IFMAR aren't going to work with race promoters. This is going to be, we want to be our own entity. But ROAR can change that, because America's the biggest market. And if you get ROAR running like how we wanted to see it, like we were just talking about, that AFRA and IFMAR have to follow, because once you get that going, you can get that old guard out of IFMAR. Yeah, and you could get that. You could get the same. You see where I'm going right here, like
because initially,
mine's a little more long term. But
initially, the thing is, like, we are just like, you are. Okay, so the thing is, you want to have a long term plan where we, as the same time we're doing RCGP, we're doing Joey's series. And at the same time, we're doing this ROAR shit. So long term, we're invading ROAR and getting them to us. And then we have doing like RCGP and stuff. And eventually, when RCGP starts to roll around, where Joey's series starts to roll around, then we'll already have control of ROAR. And then we can like get this shit all together, wrap it up, and say, guys, look at this shit. And then IFMAR and EFRA have to react. Okay, so because initially I thought like,
and if they
this was like main.
If they don't want to act, that's when you flex your power. Oh, exactly. You don't want to change? Well, we got 40 people that go to the Worlds. We're not sending anybody to the Worlds this year. We're boycotting the Worlds. Yeah. In fact,
and we do. Yeah, you can do your own Worlds.
Yeah, we're gonna do our own Worlds, and we're gonna join this group and do this. That's what can happen if everybody gets. You don't have to get out of your seat anymore. You can go become a member right there. If all the offer people became members, we can start change like this. See, I'm not.
But the thing is, like, the disagreement I initially had with you was like, the ROAR thing is not what's driving the change. The ROAR thing is what's like enabling the change long term. So the change is happening from RCGP and Joey. Like if they do their thing right, those are the entities. Oh shit! Well,
your camera.
My webcam ran. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't worry.
Yeah, ROAR is not an entity that will provide the change. ROAR is the entity that, in the end, when RCGP and Joy Series have made the change happen, ROAR will be sort of the entity that latches onto that.
Mm-hmm.
So they will never be the initiator. And
Yeah.
that's like the whole thing. But long term, we still need them. So that's why your plan is actually good for long term. But that's not the plan to change it. That's the plan to make the change stick.
I would agree, man. I think so. I'm because your camera died. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go into
yeah,
me
that's
full
cool. That's
screen.
cool.
This is what we need to do, man. But it has to start with us, the racers. It has to start with the people. The people. The
Yeah.
people have to stop saying, "What does ROAR do for me?" Well, the one important thing it does. It gives you a voice. So use that voice by voting who you want to represent you in your region. If there's nobody in your region representing, maybe you should put your name in the hat to do it. Do you think you want to do this? We want people that want to collectively change things as a group. We may not agree on everything that happens, but we can agree that we want to change RC. That in America, that has to start with ROAR and getting more involved with promoters, local races. It's a lot of things that can be done instead of just sitting on that. And you know what? Pay somebody to do it. Like pay the guy who's in charge of ROAR and a secretary to be their job off membership fees. Encourage these racers out there to encourage these races. Hey, let's make this a ROAR sanctioned event. You demand ROAR membership. People be like, oh, what? Like, RC people, what? $35. $35 ain't nothing for a year.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But people's gonna say, what does it give me? It gives you that vote. You know what it can lead to? It can lead to we can stop pissing and moaning about, oh, there's no rules and this RD doesn't call that. That wouldn't be the RD show up. That would be Bro would be like Mao up there. Oh, Jay Smoker, you know how Mao was. And those guys, those officials will be up there. They're not scared to make these calls. That's their job to make these calls. Then you will see the quality of racing getting better. You'll see the quality of racers getting better. You'll see racers having more fun. There won't be disputes afterward. Who's sandbagging this? Who's doing that? All this type of stuff. And they work together like a unit to progress RC. And then, like you said, EFRA and IFMAR have to take note. And if they don't want to take note, then you have a great base to start your own stuff. That's my dream.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I want to also, like, this point was with Wally's post. A lot of people were confusing this point that I was trying to make. So I said that you need to separate promotion from the federation. So like, and then some guy said, well, AMA has like promotion that is done by companies they own. But the key word here is companies they own.
Mm-hmm.
EFRA is trying to have a democratic, bureaucratic federation trying to make snap decision changes in how can we do this race or whatever. That's never going to work. So we can have EFRA own companies, we can have ROAR own companies. That doesn't matter. We need some people with, like, they actually care about this shit, like Control does. They actually care about making a good live show, and they have done it for EFRA, and they've proved it. And that's what EFRA needs to do more. So when they go to Euros, why don't they hire those guys who run the DXR race if the Euros are in UK, or if the Euros are in Italy? Why don't they hire the guys that run the Bitty contest race? Those are good established racers. They know how to promote a race. They know how to get people there. They know how to create an atmosphere. EFRA knows how to measure your tank size, get rules, and have Carlos there looking like the big man. They have that, but they don't have the what drives these people to go to Neo or DXR or to Bitty contest. They don't have that.
No,
but those
they
guys
don't.
have it. So combine it. Those guys who are the promoters, like Neo or DXR or Bitty contest, and have their federations do their thing. Use these guys together. But don't let EFRA say, hey, we want to do the marketing and we are going to use 1 year to do a fucking logo.
Yeah.
Like that's the level
Hire
of
people
marketing.
to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And that's the level. Like, if you need 1 year to do a logo, that's the level that the federations we have work on. Imagine if Neo Race or DXR said, hey, we've been improving our race, we came up with a new logo this year. People would laugh like they do now, but even more, because that's a company. Like, come on, that's not the level you're gonna have to be in. But we need to get rid of the idea that the federations are responsible for promotion, because these federations, by definition, that the way they are formed, are not capable of doing these decisions required for promotion. So we need to get rid of that whole idea that ROAR needs to do this, ROAR needs to do that. No, a promotion company needs to do this, and ROAR needs to support that shit.
Oh no, I agree with that. They need to hire companies to do that. And
Yeah,
what Noir needs to do is be open to work with other race
exactly.
promoters. And
We don't need anything else but openness from these
Mhm.
federations. Only thing they need is say, hey, that looks cool. Let's get on that.
And,
That's
and
all we need.
another tip that I was thinking, I don't know how this is, if it would be feasible, but we always say, hey, we want to get live RC to more races to watch them, right? Okay, we know that live RC can't go to every race, but maybe Raw throws some money at these promoters to help them get it there. Hey, we talk, and maybe they get some sponsors on board to help. Hey, we want to like, this is our way to help you promote RC. We want to get live RC there. We're gonna give you $5,000 towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Roar, if they were smart, they could be out there. Roar's the people that could be out there looking for corporate sponsors to get on board and do things. Like Joseph said, that's how they do it in Europe, or all these associations and stuff like that to get on there. But Roar needs to be focused. Hey, we're gonna take this money and we're gonna make all these tracks wheelchair friendly or something like that. What? Like, it's so much that can be done. It's so much that can be done. But the first step in this journey is for all the off-road people to see this, go to roar.com or whatever their website is, pay your $35, and let's start this next year with the even region votes. We're going to have more information on there because, man, this is a good platform. I think we need to get a good group of people together to do this. And if we can do that, we can affect change and we can, if these people get, like you say 2023, I think it could start whenever these people get in power and just say, hey, we gotta, say you get 5 more people in there that want to do this versus Raw's 5, then or whatever. I don't know how many regions, whatever. I gotta look at the regions. I meant to do it today. But this can effectively start change. Like I'm telling you, like a month later, I was like, forget Raw, get rid of them. They're no good. And IFMAR too, like I was just on that whole tip. But when Rick Howard said, join Raw on that post, that's when things started to click. And I started talking to some other guys, and I'm talking to this guy. And I know guys that are planning to run for Raw in their regions. And I was telling them, you got a good idea, but you alone can't make change. You can go in there and shake up things, but they're gonna suffocate you and they're gonna stunt your change. But you
need buddies.
You and 5 other guys can. So what we need to do is get you. We need to get you and these 5 other guys in these regions all on the same thing. Like, make it like a damn, like, I hate to say this, but like a whole different political party. But
the thing is, this is politics.
Yes,
this is politics. Like what Tea Party did for Republicans or what the Justice Democrats tried to do for the Democrats in America. This is exactly what the shit we need to do, because this is the same shit.
Yes,
it's no different. It's a smaller scale.
So, and look, if you go to the map, go see where your region is. See if it's an even number. Even if it isn't an even number, join it. There's regions out there that I look for the rep. It's just, our email from Raw. There's no reps. That's easy vote. That's one vote that we can get changed. That's one vote we already got in the pocket. Hey man, we can change it. The people can change it. Stop complaining, saying what Raw does for me. Go out there, join Raw, and let's change. This is the beginning of change. Trust me. So if you listen to this,
okay,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but after all, like I completely support this, and I have nothing. This is long term. This is the most. If you want stable, like good, functioning RC, like promotion in American RC, like the whole thing to work, you need this to happen. But even if this never happened, let's say like ROAR somehow blocks this, like let's just say ROAR becomes a dictatorship, says okay, this shit is not gonna happen. Even then, we can still make it happen if we just if we make like Davis almost on board with the shit we're saying. He's getting there and he's doing good shit. Like Davis almost in there. Joey's doing his own series. These guys understand what will need to be done, and they're working towards that. And we need to stop being like, only ROAR or only EFRA or only IFMAR are the guys who can run this shit. No, RCGP showed people someone else can run it, and you just need to believe in it. And the most disgusting thing about this whole situation is when RCGP did the change, when RCGP actually went away from went actually outside the box for the first time in a long time. Everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know if this gonna work out." Or, "Oh, these guys are idiots," or whatever. Like, come on! Like, no matter if you don't like JQ or maybe if you don't like the idea of RCGP, these guys are doing something outside of the box, and we need to, as RC like collective, we need to understand that these federations are not the ones we get behind. These federations are not going to rile us up and make RC great. These federations are what's going to calm us down and make RC stay somewhat like it is right now. These guys are the calmers. These guys are like, hey, we just do it like this, we're doing. And then they follow what everyone else is doing. They will always be behind the times when companies can be in front of the time.
I agree.
And that's what we need to understand. And that's what like everyone needs to get behind this.
Right, but we need to get people in there that want to go forward and get this old guard out, man. Get the people.
But the thing is, even if we get the old guard out, we need to still like keep our brains in the thing. Like ROAR will never be a forward thinking. They will never be forward thinking. They will be at best. They will be on par with whatever the companies and promoters are doing. At best, even if we get all the old guard out, the way federations work is they provide stability and rules and regulations. They don't make the new shit happen, but at best they can allow for the new shit to happen. At worst, they allow nothing to change. And that's what where we are at right now. We will need to move towards where they allow the change to happen, but it's impossible to have these guys be the driving force forward. So let's not get our hopes up that this is going to change shit. Let's get our hopes up that this will allow for the change to actually happen for the first time.
Yeah. And that's by working together and not calling races black races and not wanting to work with these people. So we're actually on the same wavelength here. All right.
I'm just taking like sort of like another angle. I'm just taking like, for me, I don't really care if the federations say no, because for me, if we do my mentality on everything is if I'm good enough, people will notice. If RCGP is good enough, people will notice. And to me, the federations are not that big of a deal. But if we can do what you're suggesting we can do with ROAR, we should do it. We shouldn't miss our opportunity. This is one opportunity we can take.
I agree. And this is gonna be my slogan, man. Everybody, it starts with you. It starts with you going to that computer, paying that $35 and joining ROAR, so you can have a say next year. And then let's find candidates that can get in these regions and effectively institute change, because the more when you have the majority, things start to happen. And then the old guys can be like, well, I can't fight this. I'm gotta go. I'm gotta fold. So, and then I get it. Like when you got just one person there, they get tired. They want to have change and all that type of stuff. They're being pulled in two different directions. Well, I know what you're going through. Let's fix that. And that starts with us, you guys out there, the races spending all this money. That starts with you guys. So go join ROAR and let's hey, if it doesn't work, you lost $35.
Exactly.
Right? So, and
then if it doesn't work, support those companies that are making the change.
Exactly.
Support Joey in his series next year. Support RCGP what they're doing. And
Dave could do his own series right here on the East Coast too.
I mean, to me, like I can't even understand why it's in a series yet. He has like 5 races every year.
I know.
Right? He has
Dave,
more
make
series,
it a series, man. Make it a series, dude.
He has like more races than you have in your cup, even though you're like different series, like races. Like Dave could, like, even after he's run SIC and PNB, he should come up with his own series.
Well, he has SIC, PNB,
AMS,
Wicked Weekend, Southern Nationals. So it's got 5. No, hold on. PM,
SIC, PMB,
SIC, PMB, AMS. Wicked. He has 5 races.
5 races.
Yeah.
And he has only one down, so he could still do a series if he wanted to.
He could. He most definitely could. Well, you know what? We want to know what you guys think about that. Send us some messages. We desperately want to know what you guys think. And I think remember, the power is with the people. So go to that computer, join ROAR, and we're gonna have some more information about this coming out here soon. I'm working with some people and we got plans. So people are like, well, who are you? I'm nobody. I'm just a platform to bring the message. That's all I am. That's all this
Hey, what
is.
about Femka? Who is the leader of Femka?
I don't know. I would have to, and I think that can stand for some revamping too. And
we need to get Asians involved. Like Asians are so out of RC. We need to get all these guys involved. We need to make
South America
it like
too,
right now.
Farmar.
Even like this podcast, it's like mostly American and European. Even like mostly American though. But anyway, like we're only affecting the European American racing scene. We need to like, hey, there's races in Asia, there are races in Australia. These guys need to get involved as well. Like we need to sort of combine this shit.
I agree 100%. Remember, the power is with the people. All right, exactly. Max, you know what? I'm going to go off and talk. I got the Kyle McBride interview coming up here. I'm going to bring you back on for the conclusion. And thank you for your time. That was good. I think we're going to get a lot of response from that. And thank you, Sun City RC.
I'm happy we didn't disagree that much. I thought it was going to be like a debate, but it was pretty much like, hey, I support you.
Yeah, I know. It's good. And thank you, Sun City RC Raceway, for your support. Remember, guys, go to El Paso, check them out. Go buy some swag from them. Follow them on Facebook, and give the Showers family some love. It's now time to go on to the Tekno RC main interview with Kyle, the Thunder from Down Under, McBride.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.teknorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Tekno RC. Excellence in engineering. #Tekno Takeover.
So as you guys know, I really was into silly season for 2020, and it was a very busy silly season. And usually silly season ends in January, but it kind of hasn't. There's been some moves and lots of talks and what's going on. But I think one of the most surprising moves came recently, and he's been on this podcast before, and we've done some work with RCGP, and I've had the pleasure of meeting him and watch him drive in person. I'd like to welcome the Thunder from Down Under, Kyle Ward-Mcbride. What's up, Kyle? How are you?
Hey man, what's going on? Thank you for having me. Like you said, it's been a little while, so it's good to be here.
Yes, you're rocking that 80s porn mustache and all that stuff. I mean, you're looking like Ned Kelly or something right now, you know. So
I know I've been working on this bad boy for a while. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've been getting a lot of comments, but my girlfriend likes it, man. She said don't get rid of it, so I'm like,
hey, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I'm like, if you like it, then I'm keeping it for you.
Yeah. So welcome back to the podcast. Probably one of the fastest guys in the world that people don't talk about much, unfortunately. But you are definitely one of the best 8-skill drivers in the world. You come from, I don't want to say Australia is a small community, because there are a lot of guys, there's a lot of racing going on in Australia. And obviously you guys are pushing on a lot of talent. You being number one, Aaron Stringer was another one. He's unfortunately retired. You have Bernard Zach, Alex, who's really fast. And then obviously I got to meet the Dexters and see what they can do. I watched Aaron come to America and like put the heart on a lot of fast SoCal guys, and then, have an awesome RCGP, RC2 race. So yeah, but you are the top of you're the number one guy out of Australia. I would say probably the number one guy coming out of that region at this moment when it comes to 8-scale racing. But unfortunately, we don't get to see much of you because, you haven't been able to get to America and Europe. But you did last in 2019 with RCGP, so it's good to see that, and people got a little taste of what the Thunder from Down Under is all about. But you've made some moves or some moves recently, and I kind of want to start out with Proline because excuse me, because you was part of the, I don't know if it was the mass exodus or mass firing. Nobody knows right now what it was from Proline that happened. You was like with Adam Drake and Elliot Boots and Porn Horse, all these guys who are part of Proline. You now run Seismic now, I believe. Seismic,
yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with Proline. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just got towards that time of year. You know, my contract was ending. I was on a 2 contract. You know, I was coming towards the end of the year, and you know, that sort of situation. And yeah, they kind of just like, obviously the whole thing with Horizon Hobbies was happening, that big sort of changeover. And kind of it was just like I was going to get a deal that wasn't quite what I was used to getting. That was pretty much it. And then I just had to make a decision as to whether I wanted to continue down that path of Proline still or find something new. And obviously I went for something new, man.
Yeah, Seismic, they may not be well known in America, but they're real popular in Europe, and I guess they're popular in Asia as well.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I didn't really know a whole lot about Seismic. I kind of started seeing Seismic once Canas started using them, and he was going really well with them. So I saw that. I saw that, you know, the tires obviously have a lot of potential. If he's going really well, he's winning some races. And yeah, I mean, I didn't see a huge following in America with them, nor really Australia. Like I knew of some guys using the tires, but not a whole lot. But yeah, I reached out to Sebastian Leonard from Seismic, and just wanted to get some tires and tried them, and did a whole lot of testing with them, and loved the product, man, and kind of just went on from that.
Sweet. I mean, Canas has been really flying with them. I know, like, I believe it's at the Montpellier race that they have in France every year, but they didn't have it this year, obviously. I think that's the tire to be on as well, one of the fast tires there.
Yeah, I heard like a bunch of guys were running. It's the Magma tire, I'm pretty sure, which is like the kind of the most popular tire for Seismic. Yeah, a whole lot of guys are running that tire at that race. So yeah, for sure. I mean, I see a lot of guys like Lee Mann and a few other guys starting to run them now. So for sure, it's growing, and it's definitely growing here now for sure in Australia.
How's testing with them? How are you finding them compared to the Proline? Has it been a big adjustment for you?
Honestly, like I kind of picked them up and like was really like comfortable with the tires. Like as soon as I got them, like they're a bit different because he does his compounds and everything via temperature. It's kind of not just, you know, super soft. It does it by like temperature, track temperature, which is something I've never really heard of or seen of before. But we did like a whole lot of testing. You know, what you're supposed to do is actually like temper the track and, you know, see what sort of temperature it's at, and then that's where you choose your compound. We did a whole bunch of testing, and yeah, it's pretty spot on. Like you temper the track, you choose that sort of compound. If you go like below or above, it's not quite right, but if you're in that right temperature, it seems to work. So yeah, that's good.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah, it makes sense though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. Like he's got like two different compounds, like a synthetic one as well, which is kind of like a little different. I think it's for like, you know, unique tracks. I don't really muck with that too much just yet, but yeah, like the temperature range, like the normal range of tires he's got is pretty awesome.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's good because, you know, tires are tires what win races. So you need to be on a good tire. And
they all say 90% of the car is your tire choice at the end of the day. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
And you know, like, let's be honest, like Proline is probably one of the top, or not the top tire brands in the world. But I mean, there's a lot of smaller brands like Seismic, and I can't even say smaller. They've been around for a while. They're coming in force, and it's good to see. I mean, I'm kind of like this, like the tire mafia needs a little bit of competition, like the chassis guys.
Bit of mix up.
You know? Yeah, so
I think it's good. Like, yeah, like a Seismic. I mean, there's a bunch of new little companies, like you said. I've been noticing it as well. Like the T Pro. Like, I don't know. There's just like all these other ones that are popping up and starting to get like kind of popular. And yeah, it's good to see some of those companies going up against, you know, your JC, your AK and Proline. It's good to see.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so if people didn't know, Kyle used to be Kyosho at first. I remember.
Yeah.
and then you was Kyosho for a long time. Then you went to Associated, and then I say about a year and a half ago, or maybe just under 2 years, you switched to Infinity.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So
And,
after the 2018 Worlds in Australia, I went to Infinity for the start of the 2019.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, 2 years. You've been there 2 years.
2 years.
I didn't realize it was that long, to be honest. I thought.
I know
shorter.
it was like that. It kind of went like fast. I'm not even gonna lie. It felt pretty fast, but yeah, it was 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, can it safe to say what cars you were testing during that time and all that stuff? I mean, we know you had a HB, because we saw it.
I think everyone knows that.
Yeah. And you was doing
Which
really
is
well
fair.
with
I mean,
that.
yeah. It was one of those cars, like, obviously at the time that the project hadn't been started fully yet, or it was still, getting underway. So I had to choose a chassis just to run in the meantime. And it was one of those cars that I always saw David Rumfog doing super well with it. And I was like, man, I want to drive that thing one day. And that was the chance. And it was really good car to drive, man. Super easy car to drive. I enjoyed it while I drove it. It was good, man.
Those HBs at Thunder Alley all of them were good. All of them.
I know. It was like that weekend at RCGP, all of us were going all right.
I know. It was amazing. And even in the RC2 class, they were just really good. I mean, Camden done well and all those guys. And like from that race, because that's the only race I got to go to, it was you, Cole, and David that stood. And the only other person that I thought that was extremely fast. Obviously, Ongaro is always fast, but I thought Canas was the only other guy that was really on you guys' pace that weekend. And not saying that Ongaro wasn't obviously it's on the pace, but he wasn't the dominating Ongaro that we're used to. And
yeah. I think it's like that sort of like tight, technical, super crossy style, like American track is that HB like suits really well.
Yes. So Infinity, let's talk a little bit about that. So you've been with them for 2 years. I know you had the prototype from last year. I think you and Berton have had it. I mean, we're all I think besides JQ, I think Infinity is one of the cars. Everybody's waiting to see what JQ. Obviously, with Mayako, he's going to do something else. But Infinity is one of the people that we've been waiting to see what they're going to do in off-road. And they have you, they had Berton, they had Lee Martin at one time. He left, or what, I don't know what happened with him last year. They let go of a few guys, Mark Reinhardt, him.
Yeah.
And they picked up Berton, which I thought was great. And you. So you was in this prototype testing phase and we thought everything was good. So can we talk about that a little bit, like with the prototypes and what was going on?
Yeah.
And whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. We can talk. I mean, like it was really good. We had it was as crazy as it is. It was a a project from scratch. So there was a lot to do, a lot to learn. We kind of had the prototype from like the end of last year. So we're doing a bunch of testing. It was kind of difficult because like I was in Australia, kind of trying to do it myself. And my teammate Ricky's over in Italy, and then the engineers over there as well. So it was kind of difficult, like trying to communicate and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of just got. I mean, I don't really want to get too much into the details of all of it, but I kind of just got to a stage. I just truly felt like I just needed a change for myself. Hey, like I just needed a change. It was kind of just one of those decisions I felt like I had to make. It's not something I wanted to make, like at this time of year. You know what I mean? It's not kind of a position I want to be in, but I just felt like I had to move on.
Okay, so the decision was yours to leave Infinity. I mean, we was trying to figure that out because I mean, I like Joseph and I were like, well, Infinity has this, like we know that Infinity has a very big budget. We know that this is, Infinity is something that Kenji and those guys do as a passion as well, and I have a lot of respect for him and whatnot. So we was trying
definitely.
Yeah, we was trying to figure out what happened here, and we had heard that you had left as well, and then when you made the announcement, oh man, it was like, I thought instantly, me, I'm like, oh, this is right up my alley. I'm thinking HB, right off the bat, because you was running HB, you have a great relationship with David and all that, and then I'm like, hold on, maybe S-Works, because I know S-Works is big in Asia. So when I heard it was Tekno before you made the announcement, when I heard Tekno, I was like, oh, wow. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked, to be honest.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
Yeah, so it was a little bit like it was in the works for a little bit. Obviously, I got in contact with Elias. You know, he's the US manager, team manager. I was in contact with him and also in contact with Justin Moore. So he's owns Coast to Coast RC, and he's like the Australian distributor here in like locally. So I was talking with both of them, and yeah, like man, Elias and the team was super keen to have me on board. You know, like I said before, I was talking to you about earlier, like they have a massive following, especially in the US, and even in Australia as well. So I don't know, I kind of just it felt right, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna go for this and see what happens, and it all worked out.
What do you think of the Nitro car? Because I'm really impressed with it. It seems to be doing well. You are right. Tekno has a very big presence in America. Extreme, they're doing well. They also have a really big team. People get on Tekno, they seem to stay. You've had a little bit of time with the car. What's your impressions with it?
Yeah, so I got the chance, like before I actually got my own buggy, I got the chance to like test someone else's car for a little bit, and you know, my first impressions were like, damn, like it was super easy to drive, like straight out the kit. I didn't really change anything. Kind of just did like a couple of small things that the team recommended, but I had my first like proper test day on Sunday with the car, and yeah, I don't know, man, I was super comfortable. Like I put up that video of me going around, and the car felt pretty fucking excuse me, no swearing.
That's all right.
Pretty wicked.
We can swear on her.
Oh, we can? It was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn wicked, man. So like, I mean, so far for like just having one proper test day with the car, it was like, it's definitely got some major potential.
Sweet. So we have to talk about this because I mean, Tekno, I think you are the biggest international signing. Well, obviously you're one of the biggest signers that Tekno signed a lot of people in going into 2021. They got Tyler Jones. They have a squad. They got Tebow, Bornhorst, Jones, Van Dalen. Wiggins is I call him the wizard. He's making waves. He's really improved.
Yeah, he's looking good, man. He's like one of those guys that I haven't seen much at huge races, but he seems to be like this year I've seen him a lot more around. So, I mean, their US squad is definitely strong for sure, dude.
I know. I'm actually going to do a team ranking, and they rank very high on top. I mean, just the proof is kind of like, I don't look at Tebow, like he's kind of rejuvenated his career, and he's moved to Tekno. He's had 2 good years. He's got victories. He's confident. He's having fun. It looks like, and like Wiggins, he's been putting in work, and he's getting good, and he's I don't think he's as talented as maybe a Tyler Jones or Seth Van Dalen but he's definitely working hard, and I like that about him. But man, they have a squad, and even in the lower ranks, they have younger guys coming up that are really good, like Spencer Kleins, and they they just have a squad. Like they have a really good team
for sure. I mean, I mean, like you said about Tebow, like that was something I noticed as well, man, for sure. Like he had like for sure. I mean, being honest, he like had his little downslope for a little bit, then he moved to Tekno, and like for sure, dude, he started winning a lot more races. Was like consistently, on the podium, and he looked like he was enjoying himself a lot more. So it's something I noticed as well, and something that I thought about when moving over.
Yeah, I mean, he was in 2018 or before the end of 2018, he was talking about retiring, and leaving RC altogether. I'm glad that didn't happen because, I mean, look at what's happened since then. And
yeah, exactly. It's good that he's stuck in, man. It's good
for sure. But I mean, they are like I've talked to Matt before, and we've had this conversation about Europe. I know they're not really as big in Europe. Maybe in like England, they have a good team and whatnot. They had the biggest international signing I remember them having, is Zancatine from Italy. As people say. Yeah. But that was their biggest international guy. But to get you on board, like this is like, people don't realize this is actually really big because they haven't really had that big international. Like when I say you're good, like I think you can win a Worlds good. Like, you know what I mean?
I did hear you say that on the last podcast.
Yeah. Like, I definitely think you have the potential to win a Worlds. I've seen you drive. You're just incredibly talented. So this is, in my books, like, I like Tyler Jones and all those guys. You are the biggest signing for Tekno since Tebow, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's for sure exciting. And it's something else, like, I noticed as well. They have, like, a big team in the US, but not really outside of the US. And that's something that I can bring to the table is sales when it comes to Australia and Asia and everywhere else kind of thing. So
yeah, because like you said, they are big in Australia and they're big in New Zealand. I think what's his name, Jameson.
Jaden Jameson.
He won the
he just won the nationals. He's really good. He's got some talent for sure.
I just gotta say this. He's lucky that Thylacine wasn't there. I'm only joking. I'm talking about Aaron Dexter because he won it the year before.
That's right. He went over last year.
Yeah. But that track was beautiful too, man. Where they held it this year.
They got some nice tracks over in NZ, dude. Like they really do. I haven't been over there in a while, but I think I need to get back over there. It's super nice country too.
Yes. Now, one of my things for you has been travel. I want to see you racing more. You've been to Reedy races. You've been to Silver State. And stuff like that. But always my thing, and I said it, I say it public on the podcast, why doesn't Kyle McBride move to America and do some racing? Because I just know what that would do for you. So one of the things I said is if Tekno is committed to getting you to, I'm not saying you have to live in America, but go over there for 6 months and just practice and get with the team and do some Europe, some USA racing. Are we expecting that? One, I know you guys can't travel in Australia right now.
Right.
So one of the things I heard is that we're going to see you traveling more when borders open up and you guys could travel. So what? Tell me, I'm excited. I want to know what the plan is for you travel-wise and Tekno.
Yeah, no, dude, you pretty much got it spot on. Like right now, like I'm actually in a little mini lockdown right now. We got a couple more cases, but it shouldn't be for too long. I mean, we're supposed to be able to travel in June. Whether that happens or not, I'm not too sure, but that's something like I really, really have wanted to do for a while. Like I have had the chance, obviously, to go to some races in America, and I did get to go to the RCGP, which was a blessing. That was an awesome experience. But yeah, I want to get to like America for like you said, like 3 to 6 months would be like awesome, and like I could do like a bunch of races sort of thing. Like obviously they have the Dirt Nitro and kind of a lot of big races at the start of the year, so that's kind of my plan at this point. As long as everything comes back to normal and we can head overseas, for sure, man. I want to get over there so bad.
I think if you did that, dude, your game would elevate so high because I mean, you like no disrespect to the Australian guys. I mean, I think next competition is probably Alex. I want to say,
yeah.
And by the way, he's really extremely talented. He needs to do the same thing that I want you to do. He needs to get to America. I know the Americans, but they need to come to Australia, but it doesn't kind of work like that. You know what I mean? You have to go where the racing is.
That's why I was so fortunate. Like when I was younger, obviously my dad put in a lot of time and money into getting me overseas because he knew there's only so much you can do within Australia. That's just kind of how it is. Like we don't have that big market and the same amount of people. It's like not as big as the US or Europe. So it's pretty important. Like if you want to try and make a name for yourself or just anything along those lines, like getting overseas is pretty important. Like if you want to make something out of it.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, you elevate your game's elevated. I mean, that was obvious at RCGP. You don't get to race with these guys. And maybe the talent pool wasn't as stacked as it would be at a DNC, but you had Ronafal, Canas, Ongaro, all these fast guys. You don't get to do that much. But you was right on game. You was right on par with these guys.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That year was so good for me, man, because that's like what I needed. Like I needed to be racing against the best guys, like Ongaro, Rompog, and I needed to do that like throughout the year consistently, which I was able to do. And for sure, it was like a massive benefit for my driving. It's like so much easier going up against those guys when you get to race them more consistently versus only seeing them at a world championship like every 2 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, being able to race more consistently, and I think apart from Europe, being at the US, which is obviously there's a majority of top drivers in the world are from America as well. So I think a bit of both is vital.
Sweet, man. I think it's very important that you get over there, and I've just been saying this for years, and I'm excited to see what you do. Have you spoke to the owner, Danny or Matt or any of those guys from Tekno?
We've had some small chats, like obviously nothing too set in stone right yet, like right now. Obviously with all the COVID crap going on, it's a bit difficult to fully organize things, but it's something that's going to happen. Trust me.
Cool, man. I think that's, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. You have to do that.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
know.
25 years old now. You got 26 at the end of the year. About the age, you and Ronald Falk, same age. I don't know how old Boots is. He's maybe a little older than you guys.
I think maybe like a year or so older. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I thought he was like late 20s. I don't know for
yeah.
sure.
So
Around
you
that, I'd
guys,
say.
all you guys are around the same age. All you guys are all, well, obviously Ronald Falk is a world champion, but all you guys are all potential world champions. How much longer do you, and I know that, how much longer do you think you can do this? I mean, we said you're 25, but you've been doing this for a very long time as well.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it since like I was 12 years old. So it's like a long time. I'd say professionally since about 14, 15 is like when it was professional. You know, a lot more serious as my later teens. We've gotten like as I was a bit older.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Like for sure, something that I've been thinking about. Like as I'm getting older, you know, like the last 2 years, I'm like, you know, how long am I gonna be racing for? But I'm just gonna keep doing it until I don't love it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's
you know, I also have, you know, my own plans for you know, for what I want to do afterwards. But for now, you know, I'm just gonna put everything I can into it. This Tekno movie's got me super motivated, so I'm excited.
Do you have a truggy yet? Or are you going to be running truggy down there?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
well, they've got a new truggy on the way. Tekno's got a new
Right,
truggy, so
right.
I got to wait for like about a month or so until I get one. You know, obviously, I'm assuming there's still a lot of things getting worked on with that product, so they're finalizing that. But I should have one. I got my nationals in September, so I'm gonna have one for sure before that. But in about a
Okay.
month or so, I'll have one in my hands.
When can we expect? Well, obviously, you guys are kind of on lockdown right now. When can we expect you to actually have your first race with the Tekno in Australia?
So we got a little like mini state series going on, like Queensland. Queensland is the state I live in. It's like a little series that they've done at a couple other tracks. There's the third round of that, which is at the Sunshine Coast track, which is like where I posted that video from on Sunday. And that's where our nationals is going to be, and that's in a few weeks. So that's going to be like my debut sort of race, which
Oh,
should
you
be
guys have a
good. I'm
national
excited.
series, right?
No. We
Oh,
have. They did do a national series, but
okay.
they switched back to just the singular
Okay.
nationals. So,
Sweet.
but we have our state championships and like kind of small interstate stuff as well.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
getting more familiar with it. Australia's a big place, man. It's really
I
big.
know.
It's
Like if Aaron Dexter wants to come, he's gonna like fly 5 or 6 hours to get over.
I know. It's crazy, man. You don't think of it as being so big. So,
Yeah.
you know, and as I've, you know, I talked to Zach Ryan, I talked to Aaron and all the guys in Australia. It's definitely a country I want to come visit and have some fun, and, you know, go cage diving with sharks and stuff like that. And,
It's
do
definitely
things like that.
a country you have to visit for sure. Like in your lifetime for holiday, you got to come see everything, man. It's pretty beautiful.
All right. So name off something that you would like to do. Like, what is some of the races you would like to hit up? Like, so let's say 2022 opens up and you're able to travel. I hoping we'll see you at the DNC, and then just stay in America. I mean, and just travel and do that route, man, and do this.
I would
type of stuff.
definitely, yeah, I definitely want to do that. Like, because I stayed in America before the 2016 Worlds, when I was with Associated, and I stayed there for like a month before, and that was honestly so good. Like, I loved that so much. It was so cool, just like living the SoCal lifestyle. You know what I mean? It was so different to home, but like it was so cool, man. So I want to do that, but for like longer. If I can do that for like a few months, like, and just try catch like that Dirt Nitro challenge and maybe Silver State if it's, I don't know exactly what dates they're going to be on and everything, but want to do that. But I also want to get to Europe as well, because if I can get to Europe, I want to do like, I haven't really, excluding RCGP, I never really got the chance to do any big races in Europe. So, and honestly, man, like I think some of the European guys are like gotten quicker than the US guys. Not saying all of them, but it's gotten like the intensity of drivers has gone up in Europe for sure.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I get credited for starting this whole new Euro USA beef or rivalry, which I will fan the fires of because I think that's needed. But it used to be that the European guys, like back in the day when Dagani and those guys back in the early days, the European guys were faster.
Yeah.
And the American guys, they're now on a different level. But I think it's about even. Like, I think any of the, like, those European guys, Rana Falcon, Garo, Berton, those guys, they can win at any given day against the American guys. And I throw you in there too.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's like after Ongaro came along and kind of like, you know, stamped his authority, and then Canas started coming along, and like all these younger guys, and yeah, like you know, you watch the Euros and it's like become super competitive, you know, between a bunch of guys now. So I think it's, there's a whole mix of guys, and it showed in RCGP as well how quick, you know, everyone is. So yeah, mixing Euro and US together, it's a very competitive field. But
we need
it's
more
good.
of that. We need more of that. Definitely want to see the best in the world compete. So I gotta ask you did all the rounds of RCGP, correct? Yes, you did. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. Which one was what did you think about the whole experience? I know it was completely different. What a lot of people didn't understand was the production part of it, and that came first. I know even for the drivers, it was a bit hard. Like, oh, I gotta, you know. But what was your opinion of it? Or what was your favorite race?
Oh, favorite race. Honestly, like, damn, I don't know. It was awesome going to Italy. Like going to some of the European countries was just probably my favorite for the experiences, because like I haven't really been to Europe as much. I don't know, man. I love the Philippines and I love Thunder Rally as well. So it's like, I don't know. Like Philippines track is just so cool. Like the people there are awesome. It's just like a different vibe in Philippines. I don't know what it is. It's just so cool there. But yeah, if I had to pick number one, I'd probably still have to stick with Philippines.
Yeah, and they just a different experience. That's Asian racing, you know, different experience.
Yeah.
Paid tire marshals, different type of track. They just built a new one not too far from where the other one was. So it looks really nice.
I'm so happy that happened, because there was talks of like it having to be shut down fully, and I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna be able to go back to Manila again.
No,
but it looks. Yeah,
I want to go Philippines bad. Trust me, it's definitely on my list of countries I would love to visit. Sweet man. So we're excited to see you. Like, I gotta ask, were there other options, or was it just always Tekno right off the bat when you was like, okay, this is what I gotta make a move?
I definitely explored my options. Like, I'd be silly if I didn't. I definitely explored my options, but yeah, no, it kind of Tekno was, you know, looking like it was going to be for me, and you know, it was looking like it was going to be the most. Yeah, it was going to happen.
Yeah,
but I did explore some other options. I tried to reach out to some other companies.
Yeah.
There was some interest, but you know, Tekno kind of grabbed me in the most. So.
Well, I think you're in a good spot. I mean, the Tekno team is deep, like we said. I'm sure people have reached out to you because I'm sure people are excited about this, and you just have a plethora of knowledge coming at you right now. I'm sure.
It's been really good, man. Like I've had, like, you know, I posted up that video, and that video, like, I've never had so many views on a video. That video's got like almost 50,000 views right now, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like since Sunday night, it's just blown up. And it's just, it's crazy, man. It's just like I have a lot of support already, because you know there's a lot of Tekno drivers. There's a big following sort of thing in Australia, and obviously everyone from US. I've had the guys in the UK reach out, and yeah, dude, it's been awesome. It feels so good.
You know, that makes a difference too when you have that support system. I don't know what goes. I know that testing prototypes and all, it's not easy. It's not easy, and especially when you're a racer and you want to win and you want to do things. It's difficult. I understand that.
Right.
That's why some people are good at testing and some people are good. You know, some people are just racers. I mean, we still have to racing is testing as well. Don't get it wrong. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that you. I mean, honestly, I wanted to see what Infinity was going to do, but I understand why you done this. But this means that we get to see more of you racing against the top guys in the world, then I love this. I think this is a great move by Tekno. I mean, we gotta say sometimes, how is Tekno doing this? They have so many drivers, like, but I like it. It's competition. Okay, maybe not. You're in Australia, it's a little different, but it's definitely competition there. If I was Danny, I'd be like, well, this is what I said. Tekno had 4 top drivers going into 2021. 2 remain at the end of 20. Well, you're different because you're kind of international. You know what I mean?
Right, it's a bit different. Yeah. Because I'm kind of covering a different area, but which is understandable. But yeah, they do have a stacked team so far in the US.
Oh, I know. They're good people. I was talking to Matt the other day. I'm still trying to get Danny on her to do an interview. I've talked to him, but it's like, dude, I think about it. He's got a great story. He's got a great story. Like, and I wanna tell that. I think I applaud Tekno what they're doing, even though like I work for JQ and like like button heads, but I got along with all of them, and we're trying to mend this bridge and get things going and stuff like that, because I think Tekno wants things different in RC too. I think they want to do things different, and they want to explore different things. So I think they're a very forward-thinking company, and as I've gotten to know them, I like them. Like, nice people, and they're about racing. They're about racing.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Like I mean, Jerry, I mean Tebow, I've been on his team before, and it's definitely someone I can work with. Like Jerry Bornhorst, I don't know him very well, but from what I've seen, he's a super nice dude. So yeah, I think we're gonna get along well. There's a big following here, dude. I think it's gonna be a really good thing.
Sweet, man. Well, I'm happy for you. You seem in a happy place. I hope to see you at DNC in 2021, and I wish
it'll
you all
happen.
the success. Yes. I mean, we have
as long
to
as
see
this
you,
COVID
man.
stuff doesn't prevent me, man. I'm there 100%.
No, I think people don't understand when I say I consider you one of the best 8-scale drivers in the world. And why I have to stress this again. Why I consider you one of the best is that you're good, and you're not racing against the best in the world on a regular basis, like Mayfield and maybe Runnerfuck when he goes to a race and all that stuff. So I know you have the talent. We gotta adjust you, get you out there in the States, working hard, or getting to Europe and racing it. I can't see why you can't win a world championship.
Yeah, no, I believe the same, man. Like 100%. I know the reasons why I probably haven't won, and then what you're saying right there is definitely one of them. So I can acknowledge that for sure. And yeah, I think I just need to make it happen, sort of thing, from this point on.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, and it would be a good thing for you and your career. And you know what I would say to you? You're very unique. You're from Australia. People love Australians. Everybody thinks of Crocodile on Dundee when they think of Australia. I think of cricket. I think of cricket and great white sharks. Yeah.
And sharks and kangaroos.
Yes, and thylacines. Well, that's Tasmanian. What is it? Tasmanian tiger.
Tassie devil.
Yeah, but no, the tiger. But they're in Australia. I'm telling you, they're in Australia. They are out in the bush somewhere.
I believe you.
I'm telling you, I believe it. I think I would love to see you take some time and build that character. Like now you have a nickname. You're the Thunder from Down Under. Like, build on that. I think we need to see that in drivers.
Have to claim it.
Yeah, I think you should embrace it, and that should be your gimmick, like not your gimmick, but your character that you get into. I definitely think RC needs that. And if I was a team manager, I'd be like, no, we're gonna do it this way. I would, like, I don't know, make you, I don't know, wear a crocodile hat or something. I don't know what I would make you do. Like, I don't know. I just
something crazy to do with Aussie.
Yes, because I think, and we think of Aussie Man reviews, and like when he says stuff, it's just so funny. Like, I think Australians are extremely funny. They make me laugh. I kind of want to tell this story about when I first met you in person. And I'm not going to say the words I said to you, but it's definitely not very good words. But I was told it was a term of endearment. And I blame the Dexters for this because they got me doing this. And I went right up to you and I said, hey, what's up? Then when I said the words to you, and I'll never forget how you and your dad looked at me like, what the?
Like, what?
And I'm like, whoa, I was told that was a term of endearment. And then when I went into the Dexters, like, you did what? I said, yeah, I went up and said that to them. They just started cracking up. So, really,
I mean,
really,
yes, there is some certain slang that we're used to down here.
Yeah, let's just say it begins with an S. It begins with an S and begins with a C. I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to say it. But man, I'm super excited for you. I want the best for you. I want the world to see more of Kyle McBride, and I'm excited to see what you can do with these Tekno cars. Congratulations. And I really hope this is a new page in your career, and you can make the best of it.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Like you said, I'm really looking forward to kind of what's to come. I think there's a lot in me that I haven't yet completed, man, in this RC industry. So I'm looking forward to making it happen, dude.
That's awesome to hear, man. I like to hear stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to say something to you. I say a phrase on this podcast, and it goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You're definitely talented. I think once you get out there and you putting in that hard work out there in America and against these people, like, it's just going to be a whole nother level. And I love it because that's just one more person to throw into the mix on this whole thing.
That's right.
Whole thing.
We're going to mix it up a bit. You can't keep up the same guys winning, right?
No, exactly. Would you like to shout out and say thank you to anybody before we sign off here?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to special thanks to Daniel Lewis, man, Elias, Justin from Coast to Coast, all those guys that made the move happen. I'm super appreciative of kind of being able to make this happen at this time of year. Obviously it's quite difficult for a company to do such a big move like that. Quarter way through this time of the year, so I'm looking forward to what's to come. And thank you to everyone who follows me. Thank you, Kin, for having me on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. Should be awesome.
Me too, man. And good luck in your debut here in a few weeks. And keep up the good work, man. Remember, just put that work in. Keep social media is super important. Build your brand. Embrace the thunder from down under. And trust me, people are gonna follow you because you're the only guy from Australia that's doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have
Roger
like a whole
that.
nation backing you, and you have something that's different. So I say embrace it and let's do it.
Roger that. I'm gonna take that on board. I'll embrace that for sure.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch. I'll be following you, and take care.
Awesome. All right, thanks, man. Goodbye, everyone. Appreciate the time.
Awesome.
We are now at that point of the show where you should fasten those seatbelts and put your big boy pants on. Whoa. Things are about to get serious. It's time for the JQ Racing Rant.
Well, this isn't a JQ Racing Rant. This is actually the conclusion of this podcast, number 120. We thank everybody that listened in and joined us and listening to this. We really want your opinion on what we talked about in the Don and Quiet segment. Thank you to Kyle McBride for coming on. It was a great chat with him. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with the Tekno. I'm really looking forward to him getting to America and racing more. Thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you to Max, man, for coming on and answering all your questions.
Yeah, no worries. I feel like the Sun City segment sort of turned into the rant.
Yeah, it did. It
In
did.
some
So,
way.
yeah, it's somewhat of a rant, but it's a
Yeah.
good rant. It's a good rant.
It
It's a lot of
was.
solutions.
I think that was a good conversation. We've sort of like developed the subject forward between like what we were saying. So
And it
that's
doesn't
always
end there.
positive.
It
It doesn't end there. This is the start.
yeah, we're actively. I'm talking to people now, and this is the platform that you want more information about that. This is where it's going to come from on this. I'm just the messenger, so we can change things. We can change
Yeah,
things.
and one thing I mean, if people, I mean, at some point people are probably gonna get frustrated. Hey, you guys only talk about these federations and RC promotion or whatever. But the thing is, the more you talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
at some point people are gonna be like, hey, I mean, actually, these guys are kind of right. Like at some point, it's not gonna be like the first time you hear it, you're gonna accept I'm wrong. These guys are right. That's
Mhm.
not how it works. It's gonna be like, hey, I gotta ease into it. Like, okay, that was a good point. That was a good point. And then after a few times you hear it, you're like, hey, yeah, I kind of agree. So
Sweet.
that's why we need to keep hammering on this.
I agree. I agree with you. You know what, Max? Do you have any videos coming out here soon?
I was supposed to do one this week. I kind of get caught up with all the other shit I'm doing, so probably be pushed to next week. I'm
Sweet.
trying my best to push out one every week, but I'm failing miserably. So
all right.
I'll try like every other week or something
Yeah,
like that.
two
But
a month. 2 a month is sufficient. What's
Yeah.
your next subject gonna be?
Wheelbase actually. So it's wheelbase is more than you would think it is. So
I'm
that's
sure.
sort of that's sort of what the video is about. And yeah, probably
Sweet.
gonna be interesting.
All right. Well, as I said, this is the conclusion of our podcast. It wasn't supposed to be long, but we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
But that's how it happens when we start talking. I want to say thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. Without you guys, none of this support is none. Without you guys' support, none of this is possible. I'm enjoying looking at you guys' pics. I'm trying to do that whole readers ride on Instagram, Facebook, picture a day of RC. You never know who's going to look at that and look at your pics. So when I ask for you for pictures, guys, please send them. Send me your cool pictures, action pics, and please send me the photo creds, the location, and the person in the pic, so I could give everybody their proper promotion. I like that. You know, you never know who will walk into an Instagram and see an RC car and get into RC. Thank you to the patrons of the NNRC. We greatly appreciate that, man. You guys helped out with a lot with the RC, with the NNRC Cup, and it was great talking with you guys and hearing you guys debates on why this should be this and why that should be that. If you guys are interested in being a patron, you can. The link is in the written description. I always get that mixed up. And of course, man, thank you to the awesome sponsors of the podcast. We just got 2 new sponsors, but Big shout out to Mayako. I'm getting excited. I can't wait to see the buggy. I think I'm going to see it soon. So looking forward to that. TNR Fuels. Good luck to all the TNR Fuel guys at PMB this week. High Tech. So happy to have High Tech. And I used to run these servers all the time. I never thought they'd be sponsoring like the podcast. That's awesome. Check them out if you want any more information about their products. Hit up my buddy Mike Walker. Beach RC. They're at PMB this week. Lucas has got the white whale up there. He's going to be busy selling parts. Check them out there. Get some NNRC swag if they have it. Get some NNRC decals as well. Or use the affiliate link in this to order from online. Tekno RC. Whew, their squad just gets bigger and bigger. Like Kyle McBride, dude.
Yeah.
Look, they have got a squad. Like in America, they got a super squad. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do at PMB. They go full squatted up at this race. So shout out to Tekno RC. Thank you for their support. Looking forward to talking to Matt and Danny and those guys when I get to Silver State. Sun City RC Raceway. Thank you, Joey Showers and the Showers family. Christian Corbin for all your support. Love you guys like life. New Mexico crew, shout out. Lugs Tires, new sponsor one. Check them out. You got a 30% discount if you use the promo code. All links for that are in the written description. Check them out. Get some new tires. Try them out, man. You never know. They're racers. They're serious about racing. So, we should support racers.
The one tread pattern looked really interesting. It was like sort of hexagonal tread pattern. I kind of wanted to see how that would work.
And
so that looked interesting.
And they also sell. They also only sell their tires for a pack.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
So it's not, you can't just buy 2. You buy 4.
Exactly.
Shout out to Manscaped.com. They're still on board. Happy to have them on board. Remember about the testicular cancer. Use the promo. Go to Manscaped.com. Use the promo code no name in all caps and saves 20% off your order. You can order worldwide now using that promo code. So thank you to Manscaped. JQ Racing. Shout out to all my JQ Racing family. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. If you're gonna use some tire sauce, use Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. Save 10% if you use promo code NNRC in all caps with your order. Racecraft USA, they're coming out with some cool new logos. They're all into flamingos, so that's going to be cool. Can't wait to hang out with those guys when I get to California. House of RC, helping us out with the NNRC Cup. Hey, encourage your favorite driver to go there and fill out his profile, and you fill out your profile as well. It'll be good. Shout out to my boy Wally Build, who kind of got this topic going a little bit this week. We're probably going to have Wally on next week to do a live recap of PMB. RCGP, who's been a big supporter of the podcast, and we are a big supporter of them. Can't wait to have them back racing. And of course, JQ Racing Threads. Guys are getting their hats. I saw my buddy Gator Man got his hat. And you know what, dude? I want to shout out to my boy 454 RC Works, Clint Treadway. We finally gave away that skateboard back.
That's like 2 years in the making.
I know, but he finally got it to Chase. And Clint, I paid, and I got myself one made to hang up here in the shop. And if you want to go get some stuff engraved, check him out. Max, thank you for your time, dude. I appreciate it. It's always fun. I look forward to having you on the podcast. People are enjoying you, having you here. You're super smart. Your answers, you're energetic. And we got to get you home more often. I can't wait to see you again too. And
yeah, it was definitely fun this time. We had a good talk, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Remember, join ROAR. You want to change things in America right now? Your best bet is to join ROAR. What does joining ROAR give you? A vote. Your vote speaks a lot. So join ROAR. If you're interested in running in any of these regions, go look at what region you're in. If there's nobody there or somebody there, if you want to be a part of change, you want to run in that region, please hit me up. I'm gonna put you in contact with some people. And hey, you know what, Max? Nitro is the glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. If you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Max, you want to say something before we go?
Yeah, you covered it all.
You know what? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Lefty and Max are out as soon as I found the outro.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
That wasn't so bad.